What's happening, friends? Welcome to the IGN pre-show for X019. Inside Xbox's X019 pre-show happening in London. It's going to be Microsoft's. This is their party. You know, as Xbox fans, we've been waiting for Microsoft to finally start doing their own event, similar to what PlayStation had been doing for a while. And now this is the second year of it. Happy to have it back. And this time, it feels like we might get some fun announcements. Like they've been really building this up. It feels like, I mean, you can look on the official key art back here, and you can pick out some different fun games that you can see. So I'm Ryan McCaffrey, the host of Podcast Unlocked, our weekly Xbox show. You should check it out on podcast feeds or on YouTube if you don't already. Miranda Sanchez joining me as well, and Mark Medina.
Hello.
Good to see you guys.
Yes, sir.
So, we're just a few more minutes here until the stream gets going. But first, I thought it would be good to kind of just set everybody's expectations as far as where we are with the state of Microsoft. You know, Microsoft has been very publicly building towards the next gen and build towards the future for the last few years now. You know, from various programs and studio acquisitions and first-party game announcements. So, Miranda, kind of where is Microsoft? Where do we stand with this company?
We're a lot better than we started with this generation. I'll tell you that. So they've been playing from behind for most of this week. We saw them add backwards compatibility and a lot of other very good fan-focused things. Most recently, we saw Games Pass is just taking off and has been the one thing that we always recommend for people because it's just such a great value. It's crazy good.
$10 a month. The Outer Worlds major game this fall, launching straight into it. After Party, another great game on ID at Xbox. We're starting to see major games, not just first-party stuff, launch straight into it.
Yeah, we were talking about on Unlock the other day, where if you got Game Pass right now, you're getting like 3 huge fall games. Like you're getting Gears, you're getting Outer Worlds.
Yes.
It's a good value.
So they've only been expanding that program. They did Ultimate that extends to PC. So if you have PC and your Xbox, you can do both. It also includes Xbox Live, which is crazy good. We just see them building more and more towards this future. As far as game releases go, a lot of things did get pushed till next year. Of course, we got Gears 5 this fall, which was great. We got to review that.
Oh, come on!
Yeah.
So good.
So good. Anyway, so we got that. Maybe a little bit of a weaker start this year with Crackdown, though.
Yeah, that one didn't go so well.
That was a video game.
That happened.
But then, Mark, I know you're looking forward to Battletoads. That didn't
Battletoads.
This year. Well, it's a 3-player co-op. The 3 of us can just go once that one comes out.
Yeah.
That was pushed out, so we're looking for that in early 2020 now. Along with
we have Ori
2, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, which I've played at, I guess it was 2 E3s ago now. And played really well then, and it's just going to be more polished and.
I can't imagine a world where that game's not like fantastic.
Right, I mean, you're right though. It probably is the closest thing to a surefire great game. Like I don't know what could go wrong with that game.
It's everything we've seen, the history of the game. We just are very stoked for that one.
And
Minecraft Dungeons.
Yes, which Miranda you played, and for those not familiar with this is not a building game.
No, so it's actually more of like a dungeon crawler, Diablo-esque kind of Minecraft spin, which I don't really like Diablo that much, but I really enjoyed my time with Minecraft Dungeons. It takes a lot of that charm that you'd expect to come with Minecraft. It's very goofy, and it's very customizable, which is, I think, something that was really important because it's trying to, say, hey, Minecraft, it's your playground, you're doing what you want. And they're trying to like evoke some of that with what you can do with your character builds and like this flexibility with your roles. Like you're not tied to one class, you can change it on the fly. And that was really appealing to me.
Yeah, good stuff.
Sounds fun.
And then the Cuphead DLC, the Delicious Last Course. We get some fresh new Cuphead on the way in early 2020 as well, heading into Scarlet in the fall. Now, let's talk a little bit about what we think Microsoft is about to show us on this Inside Xbox X019 live stream. Then let's save the wishful thinking. We'll talk about the kind of what we hope and want to see, but just thinking practically, put your thinking caps on. What do we think we're about to see on this thing? Mark, I'm going to go your way first.
Oh, we still need release dates for Halo Master Chief Collection with Halo Reach and all that good stuff. Coming soon, 2019.
To PC,
You're to PC, And the last time I looked at my calendar, 2019, wrapping up.
We are almost done.
It's almost over. I don't think we'll see Scarlet stuff. I don't know if it's going to happen. We all want it to happen, but who knows?
So. You don't think that this? You think this will be a Scarlet-free zone?
It's. I'm willing to bet. If you told me that they ended up not showing anything, I just wouldn't be surprised.
So I think because this is their stage, this is just Xbox, they have to give us like a wink, right?
Sure, I hope
We've
so.
seen Sony publish like these small things about the PS5. They're not grand reveals, but like we got to learn about the new controller that is unnamed and definitely probably called the DualShock 5.
Right.
But what about, the Xbox controller for Scarlet? We know that everything's gonna be forward compatible, so it's very exciting that we'll get to use our brand new Elite Series 2 in the future.
Which is excellent, by the way.
Yes,
the controller
it's
feels
so
so good. The redesigned bumpers for everybody worried about the flimsy bumpers.
We could geek out about that controller.
I know. Fortunately, we have a weekly podcast to do just that.
Yeah,
Join us every week. But
I think just something, right? Like just a little thing. They don't need to give us a whole presentation. I do think that they're going to have their own reveal event or something big at E3, but they have to do something.
Yeah, it's when you think about, we haven't heard anything from Scarlet since E3 2019, and this is a very good chance this is the last time we're going to see a big show like this before the reveal event.
Yes.
Next time we see these guys on stage, very may well be the reveal event for Scarlet.
Yeah, I would expect so. But yeah, I got to disagree with you, Mark. I think it would be a major fan disappointment if there's just nothing about Scarlet. I agree with Miranda.
I'm just saying what I
Throw
think.
us a bone.
Yeah, for sure.
We're gonna get Game Pass updates.
Which is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they've got to. They know everybody wants to hear about it.
Yes.
Yes, it's early. But Sony has been talking a little bit,
Just
so
a little thing.
just a little bit. I actually think you're so dead on with the controller thing because why not? You've just shipped the Elite Series 2, which is your great, awesome, high-end, forward-compatible, Bluetooth-enabled for xCloud controller. You'll be able to use it on Scarlet. So why not get up and say? Phil could say, well. All right, well, we're going to talk a lot more next year about Scarlet. We'll lay out the whole thing for you, but we did want to tell you a little bit about how you'll play Scarlet, and maybe just go over some of the new controller's inevitable new features.
Do you think we see a console name, or do you think it's just going to be
They're gonna say
Scarlet, we'll worry about it later kind of
Exactly.
deal?
Yeah, I think we're too early for that.
I do love that we're in the era now where we don't have to hide it, where Ubisoft delayed a few games and they were just like, PlayStation 5 Scarlet games. We're able to just talk about it now. That's fine.
I also, as far as what we think will happen at this, there have got to be some game reveals. There's no way Microsoft would be going to this amount of trouble to actually put on a live stream at their fan event to not announce anything. So I think we'll get new games from somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know who.
They have a lot of studios now.
They've got a lot,
They have,
yes.
they have some people to choose from.
Ninja Theory has that game that they announced. We may see more from that. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, that'd be Bleeding Edge.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
I would also like to see more of Gears Tactics. I mean, I'm still very excited about Gears. Gears 5 was so much fun, and I want to know more about that universe. And I think the last we saw of it was Rod Ferguson wearing a T-shirt for Gears Tactics.
On Twitter.
That counts as gameplay.
Yeah.
No, you're right though. That was absent from E3 this year.
Yeah, they didn't talk about it at all. I know they wanted to keep the focus on Gears 5, which makes a lot of sense. But now that that's out, now that we're playing it, tell us a little bit about that.
And now that Gears Pop is out,
bit.
that's out the door.
Which
now
is,
we can talk
by the
about
way,
Gears Tactics.
really fun.
Great.
I was like, oh, this is actually really fun.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
We've got the Gears logo on this. It's official art.
it's back there,
It's living up
so-
my expectations.
All right, let's talk for a few minutes now. Let's have a little fun, loosen the ties, as it were. The punching out. It's 5 p.m.
Ties off.
We're off to the bar. What do we want to see happen? Try to maybe. You can go crazy if you want, but maybe within a little bit of reason. But what do you hope to see at this, Miranda?
I want them to. I always want a new game reveal for next gen. We know that everyone's probably going to show something, but I want them to bring back something that's like a fan favorite, like a Fusion
Are
Frenzy.
you literally reading my mind? Because we didn't talk about what we were going to say beforehand.
Yeah,
go ahead, because
this is such a fan-focused event, right? This is for the people who love Xbox, and that's who goes and attends this. It's give them a little tease of something that's coming back that that they would want. Maybe not something that's as big as Master Chief. Obviously they're going to save Infinite for the full Scarlet reveal.
Right.
I don't think we'll hear about that for a while. But give us like Viva Pinata or Fusion Frenzy.
Viva Pinata, I'm in.
Yeah, like something that's just fun.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny you say that because I'm thinking right along with you. The two things I would hope to see, maybe one or the other, is not both. I'm sure both is unrealistic, but we're in the UK for this thing. It's in London. That's Rare's backyard. It's also Playground's backyard. Why? 2 words: Banjo 3E. Sea of Thieves has been out for a while, right? It is a service. It's been improved on. There is a team that continues to work on that game, develop that game. But why? Maybe it's time for a new Rare game. And Phil knows. Like, we've seen Banjo and Kazooie. They're in Smash on the Nintendo side. Like, they are alive and well. And why not? I mean, if we're talking a little, little outlandish, little, just letting our hopes and dreams float out into the ether. Banjo 3, or the other one that came to mind is one that is kind of a poorly kept secret, is what if we get just the slightest little logo with some music teaser for Fable?
Fable. Stay psych right now.
Yeah, which is, again, allegedly in development at Playground Games, one of the recent studio acquisitions from Microsoft. So I think either one of those two, a Banjo 3E or this teaseriest of Fable 4 or just Fable reboot, I think it'll be a reboot, teases, would just set that Xbox X019 crowd. They'd all spontaneously combust. They'd be on fire. They'd need to call the fire department.
Everyone be safe.
Yeah.
I have a crazy one.
Yeah.
But you guys aren't ready for it yet.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna say it anyways.
I am prepared.
I'm gonna say it anyways.
Okay.
Death Stranding, coming to Xbox One.
What?
Get out of here.
We said crazy. Here's the thought process, right? Thought to be a PlayStation exclusive, even though years ago they said it was coming to PC. Now announced for PC. But maybe, and people were saying like, whoa, that's a little weird that they would announce that from a completely different publisher coming to PC before it comes out for PS4. Maybe there's some sort of deal in there where they're like, okay, you're allowed to announce the PC version, but you are not allowed to announce the Xbox version until it's out on PS4.
We saw this happen with No Man's Sky, so
That's what I'm saying. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Yeah. You boot up No Man's Sky back in the day, and it's Sony Computer Entertainment, all that stuff.
Right.
And that game exists on Xbox One now. And this is nothing, but the Target ad does say coming to PS4 and Xbox One. That's nothing.
Thanks,
But
all right. Well, since we're wandering a little further out onto the edge, I'll say this: another thing that could just light up the crowd and would be just the smallest little but important nugget that Microsoft could give at this is maybe they do say what the actual name of the Scarlet is, and just no other details, but say. If Phil gets up and says...
When I mentioned that earlier, you guys told me I was crazy.
Well, this is going far.
Yeah, now we're in the crazy part.
The ties are off.
I forgot. We're not wearing ties anymore.
Yeah.
So, Phil comes out and says, well, we're going to talk more about Scarlet next year, but we thought we would show you the name, and then there's a big video wall behind him, I'm sure, and they reveal the name. That would... freak everybody out.
As much as people have kind of harped on Xbox One being the next name after 360 of being weird, which it is, it does lend itself to that mystery of what's the next one going to be called?
Right?
Yeah, it's like that PlayStation 5 is going to be PlayStation 5, but it's like, what is a name? Like, it doesn't really matter, but at the same time, it's still kind of fun to think. The thing is,
it matters, I think.
Well, I just mean like. Sure, like it matters to people that are like huge fans of it, but it's like if they come in, like, you know what I'm saying though. But my thing is I always kind of fall in love with Xbox's codenames.
Me too.
And so it's like I loved Project Scorpio, and I actually like Scarlet. So if they called it Xbox One Scarlet or just Xbox Scarlet, I'd be fine with that.
All right. Well, the stream is about to get going, so we're going to kick it to the Inside Xbox crew at Microsoft. But stick around right here on IGN. We've got the stream for you, so just don't move. And then we will have a post-show immediately following. That's going to be live from London, so don't miss that because we'll have analysis of everything that happened. I think we might have some guests lined up for that too. So deep diving on everything that you're about to see in that live stream. So with that, enjoy X019, and we will see you again very soon.
Stroke camo. So you can see on this design that the camouflage is very hand painted and has a very brushstroke flow. And then even further camouflaged within the camouflage is actually little icons of London that you can find in there. We'll just let people discover those on their own. The Maharishi brand has a vision to be environmentally sound as well as always producing high quality utilitarian garments. But one of their most iconic elements is their embroidery. So here you can see on the t-shirt, they take a lot of references from Eastern culture. And one of their most iconic embroideries is their dragon that you can also find on our controller. So the DPM X019 capsule is going to be one of our most exclusive drops. We'll include the controller, 3 t-shirts, Xbox bomber jacket, Xbox pin, as well as wallpapers, and they'll be available November 14th.
Creativity is important for me because it's freedom, you know? It really allows me to think outside the box and create things that people haven't created before.
And we're so fortunate that we live in a day and age when we have all this technology that he can use. The things that he has available to work with now wouldn't have been available 20 years ago.
I've known Spencer since I was like 3 years old. Grew up right down the street, literally across the street. I would like run over here, we'd hang out and stuff.
As long as they've had games out, we've been playing.
I mean, we didn't stop playing Halo until like forever. It was great.
I think that's what got me into it the most, social aspect of it. I didn't think about gaming till the adaptive controller came out, but once it became available, then it was always on my mind.
There was an ad that came out and he saw it, and it was right before Christmas, so we got him the controller for Christmas.
I got the device not knowing, because I'm not a gamer. I don't know what any of the buttons do. And I got that thinking, okay, well, here it is.
There's a lot of things to work out. When I originally saw the one-handed joystick on Microsoft's website, I didn't think it was going to work for me because there was no attachments that my hand could use. And nothing that was really sensitive enough to play the games that I wanted to, and like Halo and games that require a lot of movement and a lot of button use. When I saw that there are parts out there that work for that controller, that's when I was finally like, okay, this is pretty cool. I can build on this. I already had the shape in mind, the U shape that I needed to in mind with metal ones at first, and they were just too heavy. It led me to, well, 3D printing is probably the best way for me to solve that problem. This was my first cutout of the tray. Tried to model as much as I could after the original controller. Then it just led me to step-by-step switching little things here and there to finally getting to the point that it was working for me. I've probably made at least 15 different iterations of the joystick itself. You know, just the joy of playing games again really kept me going.
After seeing it actually cut out with the design on it, I was like, so many other people can use this besides just Spencer. And I was like, we gotta play some games, man.
This is something that we can do together again, and so it's been really nice.
I just love seeing him being able to do fun things with his friends and, all together again, just like they were before.
I'm not done with it yet by any means, but once, everyone that wants the game again can, then I'll know I'm done.
The Insight project is a rare example of artists, scientists, and mental health experts coming together to tackle one of the most pressing challenges of our time, mental suffering.
We're asking a question. Could we combine the best of game design and technology with cutting-edge clinical neuroscience and psychiatry to help with mental suffering and to promote mental well-being? This became the Insight project. We recognise that there's a powerful and widespread movement in science and psychiatry based on acknowledging that the brain and the body are truly intimately related and must be considered as a functioning unit. But game technology gives us a missing piece. It gives us control of the person's environment. This is enormously powerful.
But why do we think games could help? Well, over the last decade, the games industry has been in an arms race, developing real-time technologies such as virtual avatars, natural human-computer interfaces, data analytic tools, online technologies that are at levels of sophistication that are grossly underestimated by the wider world. And all of these tools were created to engage a captive mass audience, train them in new skills and promote mastery of games. And this is a toolset that we think could equally be applied to mental well-being.
What Hellblade had achieved was to make the invisible visible. What if we could go further and give people the ability to see, engage with, and perhaps even overcome their fears and anxieties?
Over the next few months and years, we will be sharing our approach, publishing our findings, and growing our team. The project will grow in complexity as we tackle harder and harder problems for which solutions may not yet exist. However, we do believe that by focusing our efforts on what we can do now and collaborating with those who can offer different or complementary solutions, we can kickstart a movement, one based on sound principles, and help each other to find ways of improving the quality of life for a lot of people.
My name is Emily and I'm 20 and I made Fractured Minds. I chose to do a puzzle solving format for the game, mostly because it kind of reflects the challenges that you face with mental health issues. Like, it's a struggle to get the key and to open the door to the next room. Because of my own experiences with mental health and anxiety, it's quite like a personal topic for me. I actually missed quite a lot of school because of my anxiety, so in my free time I would basically work on the game. It was kind of like an outlet for my stress. It gave me motivations and goals and helped me focus on something, and I definitely think that helped me get through that time. The BAFTA Young Game Designers competition is like the perfect starting point for any young person wanting to enter the games industry. I was a little bit apprehensive at first because I didn't think I could win, basically. But then my sister actually really encouraged me, so I just went for it. The feeling of finding out I'd been shortlisted was just, it's one of the best days of my life, definitely. When I was at the train station about to go to the BAFTA ceremony, I actually had a really, really bad panic attack. I honestly thought, I can't do this, I'm just gonna go home. But my sister kind of helped me through it. I knew I had to try because it's like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so you have to go for it. And I'm so glad I did.
It is Fractured Minds by Emily Mitchell.
It just went from the worst day of my life to the best day. I'm just so happy to have it reach Xbox and then actually be able to play it at home is just beyond exciting. I really think that the charity Safe in Our World could make a big difference in the games industry. To have a voice campaigning for mental health to be spoken about more and for video games to be part of that solution, I'm just really excited to be part of it.
is how we roll, man.
Jedi.
I'm sorry, but how amazing was that trailer? But hello and welcome. We are live from the Copper Box Arena in London, the proud home of X019. Is everyone excited? Everyone excited? But Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order launches on Xbox tomorrow, and what better way to celebrate than with Xbox fans, Stormtroopers, and Stig, the creative director at Respawn. Can we get a round of applause for Stig, everyone?
Thanks so much. Wow,
Thank you.
This is crazy. We've been so hard at work for the last several years, and to finally get the game in the fans' hands is just, it's a dream come true. Thank you.
But it's been quite a year for Respawn. With the game launch finally here, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, first it was Apex, and same year at the end of the year, we're shipping a Star Wars game. So it's been crazy. It's magical. But huge shout out to all Respawn, especially to my team, the Jedi Fallen Order team. This is our day. This is our time. We've been waiting to get here for a long time. Thank you to Lucasfilm as well. You guys have been great partners, and for Microsoft for having this event.
Well, I've got to ask, Steve, what was it like making a game in the Star Wars galaxy?
Well, we're making an authentic Star Wars game. There's nothing like it. It's a massive honor. And since it's day one, it's something that we never took for granted.
Right, and we know you've brought some amazing gameplay for us to check out. Right, what have fans got to expect?
Well, we've got amazing story in this game. We were able to put together a great cast with actors like Cameron Monaghan and Deborah Wilson that have done a fantastic job bringing drama to this game. We got to create our own droid with BD1, which is like a total dream come true. You could go on and on, right?
It's amazing. All right, we have to check this footage out, so let's celebrate the launch and check out this trailer.
Cal, trust only in the Force.
Yes, it was. It's just one of many, many secrets that we've got in the game that we haven't had a chance to talk about yet. But can't wait, again, to get everybody's hands on it. Huge honor. Thanks for having us.
No, but thank you for joining us, Stig, and for coming to London to celebrate the launch of the game. But the celebration has just begun. X019 starts right now.
Xbox Live from X019 in London!
Yes! We're in my hometown! My parents are sitting over there! My goodness!
That's
oh my
awesome.
God. So we've got a huge show planned for you today with news and reveals from Xbox Game Studios, Xbox Game Pass, Project xCloud, Idea Xbox, Matt Booty, Phil Spencer, and so much more.
That's right. Who's excited?
Yes!
Yes, you are. Of course you are. And Inside Xbox is just the beginning. We're also broadcasting live and diving much deeper over the next 2 days into some of your favorite games with some legendary game creators in our Xbox panels. So make sure you stay tuned on Mixer over the next 2 days. But right now, let's get right to the breaking news and send up to Charlie, who's with a very special guest. Over to you, Charlie!
Hey, welcome everybody. To help me kick things off is Louise O'Connor, executive producer at Rare, the studio behind Sea of Thieves. But Louise, they're all sat right here, by the way. Now, Louise, I hear you and another team inside of Rare have been quietly crafting on another world. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, okay. For
Go
you,
on, then,
I'll
while
tell you
we're
a
here.
little bit. So I've been lucky enough to be working at Rare for over 20 years. And in that time, I've been on the most incredible journey with that studio. And it's actually a journey that's brought me here tonight to X019
In
London.
with these lot, right?
And I'm so proud to be here at X019, representing the most incredibly talented team of people. We are passionate about creating something special and truly original. And that's why this is for players everywhere. I am delighted, and as you know, extremely excited to share with you a glimpse tonight of the next new IP from Rare.
I mean, if that isn't enough, let's actually take a first look at the very first Xbox Game Studios game reveal.
World premiere.
Trailer. But we are now joined by head of Xbox Game Studios, Matt Booty. But first, for those watching on mixer.com/Xbox and logged into a Microsoft account, you'll receive a never-before-released Obsidian Helm for Sea of Thieves, a Gears Pop promotional credit, and a chance at winning a year's subscription to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. But first of all, can we now get a huge round of applause for Matt Booty? Thanks. Now, Matt, we just saw that beautiful trailer, which is Rare's next journey, which begins with Everwild. What's it like to show off Everwild for the first time, and how else is Xbox Game Studios showing up today?
Well, I thought that trailer was amazing. I mean, the visuals are so compelling. It's really just a magical window into something new that's being created at Rare, a whole new world and universe to explore. Rare, like a lot of our studios, has more than one team under the same roof, and so it's great to see a new team with new IP bring that game to life under great leadership with Louise. And that will exist side by side with the team that will continue working on Sea of Thieves. Across all of our studios, we've really shifted from a focus on growth and acquisition, moving on to execution and delivery, and really delivering on the promise of these great games. And that includes our publishing team, which has gone out and started up projects with independent creators who will bring exclusive content to Xbox. And what that all adds up to is tonight we'll be able to show 2 more new IP and updates on 11 games in production.
That's going to be amazing. And also, every Xbox Game Studios game will launch, of course, day and date on Xbox Game Pass. And as head of Xbox Game Studios, what's the real tangible benefit that Game Pass gives to you and the studios?
Well, the great thing about Game Pass is that it really empowers our studios to focus on what they're great at, which is creating great games. Whether it's a large-scale game or a small passion project, both of those can exist inside Xbox. It's also brought a whole new audience to some of our games. It might be a game that someone didn't know about, they hadn't discovered, or maybe just a game that they hadn't played yet. It's really brought a whole new audience to our games. And a good example of that is Outer Worlds from our Obsidian studio.
Everyone loves Outer Worlds.
And so Outer Worlds just recently launched, and already it's found a great audience inside Game Pass.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming to talk to us as well. I'm really excited to see everything come. But also, as you said, as an example of multiple teams within the studio, Obsidian Entertainment brought us Outer Worlds, but we also now have another Xbox Game Studios reveal of another title from Obsidian showcasing those multiple teams. Let's take a look at that trailer.
World premiere.
From Obsidian Entertainment! All right, we've just seen Grounded for the very first time, but I've got to say, before we go any further, congratulations, huge month for Obsidian with the launch of The Outer Worlds. Woo!
Thank you.
Congrats. Now, Grounded obviously looks a little bit different to previous Obsidian titles. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so Grounded has actually been in development for a little over a year. It's a small team headed up by Adam Brennicke, who is the executive producer on Deadfire. The whole team is just really into survival games, and we want to see what we can bring to the genre. It's something that was in production before we became part of Microsoft, but once Microsoft saw it, they were really supportive of it moving forward. I know a lot of people associate our studio, obviously, with RPGs, but we do have multiple teams working on different things at different times, so you can expect to hear more about the RPGs we're working on in the future.
All right, so tell us about the thinking behind going into the survival genre.
Yeah, so we've been kind of tossing around the idea of making a survival game for quite a while now, and it wasn't until Deadfire started to wind down that we started having some brainstorming sessions where this unique idea of what if we made a survival game where players were shrunk down to the size of an ant came up.
Yeah, I love it.
Big ants. Big ants.
And Adam Brennicky, our project director, he was pretty excited about this idea that he ran over to Fergus, our studio head, and said, let's do this. He gave us the green light, and we put together a small team and started to just flex our creative muscles. And within a month, we knew we had something special, so we just been running with it.
And talking about something special, we hear that Grounded is actually coming to both Xbox Game Preview and Xbox Game Pass. Please tell people when they're going to be able to get their hands on it.
Yeah, so like we did with Pillars 1 and Pillars 2, we want to involve the community into the development of the game as early as possible. That's why we will be launching first in the Xbox Insider program. And shortly after that, we will be going into game preview on both Xbox One and PC this coming spring. And we've been pretty excited about going to Game Pass because we feel that will only involve even more of the community to help shape this game alongside our team at Obsidian.
Completely agree.
Nice. And what's even cooler is that everyone who's here at X019 will be able to play Grounded over the next few days. Robbie, Josh, thank you so much for bringing Grounded here today. Big round of applause, everyone. Okay, Xbox fans, to celebrate X019 for fans around the world, we are running our first ever Xbox flash sale on some of our biggest titles, and it starts right... I'd have a watch on. Now!
Yeah, now.
For the next 36 hours only, you can get between 20 and 70% off some of your favorite Xbox games, including Sea of Thieves Anniversary Edition, Gears 5 Ultimate Edition, Borderlands 3 Super Deluxe Edition, FIFA 20 Champions Edition, and Edition the Game, the Edition Edition. Just made that one up. And more than 20 other fan favorites.
But coming up later, we have the latest on Bleeding Edge, xCloud, Phil Spencer, and more game reveals. Kind of like this one.
World premiere.
Purgatory, Wyoming, 1888. A shifting land shaped by the souls of the dead. The good ones head east toward the light. The bad ones, sometimes, they stick around when they ain't supposed to. That's where I come in. To change their mind. I got a job to do. But it ain't always that simple. Some say a coward dies 1,000 deaths, and a hero only dies once. I says, a hero is someone who keeps coming back.
Head out on the waves with Sea of Thieves, the shared world pirate adventure game that throws brave buccaneers into an ever-changing experience of excitement and danger. And we're back with our next free monthly update, the Seabound Soul. There's an all-new lore-focused tall tale mission for players looking for a thrilling story. Join Captain Pendragon to uncover the mystery of the feared ship, the Ashen Dragon, and reveal the secrets of a sinister new threat. And we're bringing the heat with the introduction of new firebombs. This explosive ammo allows players to rain devastation on their enemies. And that's not all. Over in the arena, our focused competitive multiplayer mode, there are new cosmetics and commendations to battle over as you fight for victory. So get ready to light a fire under your rivals with the next free Sea of Thieves monthly update, the Seabound Soul.
World premiere.
Like a whole lot of KartRider fun. Now to tell us more about what we just saw, please welcome KartRider Drift producer DS Choi, as well as KartRider Drift executive director Hoon Park. Welcome to the stage. Welcome to the show.
All right, off the bat, I would love for you to tell us a little bit more about bringing the iconic KartRider franchise to a global audience on Xbox One.
Yeah, sure. KartRider is a casual racing game that is easy to pick up and play. We just celebrated its 15th anniversary, and I'm super excited to bring to this amazing game to Xbox.
They're excited too.
Great. Now, part of the KartRider series is the customization. I was taking a look at it earlier. There is a ton of customization in there for Xbox players, right?
Yeah. Okay, so anyone can customize their cast and characters. Hey, DS, can you more about this?
Yeah, sure. So basically, you can see the characters with different skins, and you actually see the different emotes actually playing it with it as well. So that's for the characters, and also cards have different types. Like we have even toilet cards available.
Toilet card?
Yeah.
My.
You're driving a toilet, or a giant gorilla, or something like that.
So tons of options.
Yeah. Tons of different options.
All right, well, customization is great. I would love to see some gameplay, and from what I hear, we've got KartRider League's top 2 esports players, and they're going to take us through. So Hojin Moon and Insu Park are just over here to the side. Do me a favor. As they get to racing, will you tell us what we're seeing and what we need to know?
Yeah, sure.
Sounds good.
So what they're about to start is the speed mode for the game. Basically, speed mode is all about boosters. We also have item mode, but in this mode, the only item you're using is booster. But the way you earn this is actually just by drifting more and doing more drifting as often as possible. And what you're about to see here is that they're going to be able to boost all the way throughout the match just because they can do all the drifts in between every single time.
Now, I know a lot of folks, I'm not even going to look at my Twitter feed because I know it's lighting up right now. People are going, wait a minute, they're playing on keyboard, so you're going to have keyboard and controller support.
Yes, we will. And keyboard is actually where we first started on the PC. But we are now coming to the Xbox One, and also the controller actually feels even better with the feedback. Whenever you're drifting or like throttling with the actual boosters, it actually does a shake force feedback. I love that part.
All right, I've got one last question for you, and I think I know what the answer is going to be. New players coming into this franchise on Xbox One, what's the one tip that you give them?
Drift and shortcuts.
I'm assuming drift. Oh, and shortcuts.
Yeah. I think I might be able to show you in a 3 seconds on the screen right now. Oh, actually, later. Basically, if you know the track better, you're going to be in a much more advantage to the other player. Oh, no. Are you going to be able to catch up? Catch up.
It's that pressure. It
Live
is that
demo,
pressure.
baby. This is live demo.
As you can see, he's always like drifting 180s without any like problems. In this game, drifting is all that, and it actually might feel sensitive, but the way he's cutting it.
Yeah. There it is.
With the
There's
panel over there.
right there.
Oh my God, that's a beautiful line right there.
Yeah.
All right.
Those kind of shortcuts actually save you like 2-3 seconds of the whole record, and so it's really crucial for you to know those kind of things.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to it. Well, thank you both so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And a reminder, the closed beta for KartRider Drift begins on December 5th.
All right, thanks for joining us. And now let's check out the latest from Bleeding Edge.
So, I'm here with Bleeding Edge creative director Rani Tucker from Ninja Theory. So we first saw Bleeding Edge at E3, and today actually you brought us a new look trailer. But before we kind of deep dive into that, kind of what's kind of the soul and the process, in making a game like this?
Well, Bleeding Edge is a 4v4 third-person team game. I mean, Ninja Theory's got a great heritage in making combat action games, so I wanted to carry that forward and kind of combine it with my passion for team-based multiplayer. So it's, the moment-to-moment actions, really fast-paced, arcadey, evades, combos, but then there's a team element as well, so it's a really interesting combination of stuff.
It looks very exciting, and you've brought something rather special with you today. What's that?
Let's check it out and have a look.
Let's check it out.
Go!
I'm on the battlefield.
A very dangerous woman.
I'm on the road. I'm on You put a bullet buttercup.
I said fire! Get them up! Damn you! You useless corpse!
Colourful characters in there, and I don't think I'm allowed to say what the one with the sort of rude name, but that was actually the nickname I used to have for my brother growing up. I'm not going to say it. I don't know if I'm allowed to. Can I say that? So what do fans need to know about the launch of this game?
Well, it's coming out on March 24th.
Yeah.
So you can go to bleedingedge.com. You can pre-order it now. Windows 10, Xbox, Steam. It's cross-play across everything, and we've got some cool pre-order perks, so you get into our closed beta next year.
Nice.
There's also a cool skin pack that you can unlock. So.
Oh, cool. And obviously we saw a new character within that trailer. Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah, Cass, she's awesome. She's our new damage class. She's a first hybrid range and melee for the game.
Mm-hmm.
She's awesome at getting into the back line, harassing the healers. She's got these kind of augmented legs that she can use to jump up really high, take out people who are trying to run off. So yeah, I'm excited to see how the Tech Alpha players are going to deal with her in the next playtest.
I feel like this is how I want to look after I've been to the gym doing a whole load of squats. Like, that's the kind of gains that I want on my booty that I can never quite get. So I can play it, so that's cool. So some players have obviously been playing the technical alpha. Kind of what's the feedback been like?
Oh, it's been amazing. There's such a great group of players, and they're giving us heaps of good feedback, filling out all of our surveys. Massive shout out to Magna, who's running the unofficial Discord.
Yeah.
Great community of guys. Yeah, it's been really nice working with them. And we've got another test next week where Cass is going to be available. And she's available here on the show floor too, so people can play her today.
Nice. I think you need to do a few little question and answers going around, little poll after this. Get a beer, it'll be fine. All right, well, thanks so much, Ronnie. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks.
So next up, new titles to show. From roller coasters to bold storytelling to, well, an artful escape. Here's a look at 3 new games coming to Xbox.
World premiere. premiere.
They say twins are connected.
They finish each other's sentences.
Read each other's minds.
Feel each other's pain.
And sometimes, they even relive each other's worst memories.
This is wrong. This is all wrong. Mom? You sure you want to go in there?
Writing down my thoughts helped me realize who I am. When I finally made sense of a few things, I don't know how I never saw it coming.
But what good does it do to ask the question now?
She was never gonna let me be anything but her little girl.
I know you want there to be something to find. Something that'll make it all make sense.
I need to know.
World premiere.
Everybody, I am very excited to have two members of the Project xCloud team here today. Please welcome a guy we've... Hey, there you go, got some fans out there. Kareem, you've been on the Inside Xbox stage so many times that everyone recognizes you and loves you. So welcome back. And I am thrilled to have Catherine Gluckstein join us. Catherine, you're one of the key leaders on Project xCloud, and you head up the product team. Welcome to Inside Xbox. Give her a round of applause.
Thank you, Graham. It is so great to be back home here in London.
That's right, a London local as well. I love it. All right, Kareem, can you tell us a little bit about Project xCloud and why fans should be so excited about this?
Of course. Project xCloud is our cutting-edge game streaming technology that takes the power of Xbox and everything that comes along with it and puts it in your phone or tablet. That's your friends, your social network, your save games, your achievements, your gaming history, all your progression. It all comes with you so you don't have to start over. And Project xCloud can give you this freedom because we're literally putting an Xbox in the cloud.
With 2.6 billion gamers in the world, Project xCloud is our dream of delivering of gaming for everyone, everywhere.
That's right. And just last month, you started the first phase of the preview in the UK, the US, and Korea. So what happens next?
More games. As of right now,
yes,
there are
games.
over 50 games in the preview from over 25 of our development partners.
Right.
And these are fan favorites like Forza Horizon 4, Devil May Cry 5, Tekken 7, and many, many others. And we're not just going to stop there with what we're doing today. You can see us continue to add more and more games over time.
There you go. Fantastic. So more games and more ways to play. So how can people at home actually get involved?
Preview is... We've missed a bit.
Don't worry.
We've heard your feedback loud and clear. There are more ways, you want more ways to play. And we are delighted to announce that in 2020, we will bring Project xCloud to Windows 10 PCs.
Right, nice.
And of course, we won't stop there. We are working with a ton of partners to bring Project xCloud to every device where you want to play.
Right. And tell me about controllers as well.
Absolutely. We think a ton about controllers. Project xCloud, of course, plays great with your Xbox controllers. And because we believe in choice, we will support multiple Bluetooth controllers, including Razer Jungle Cat and Sony DualShock. Project...
Yeah.
Project xCloud is freedom to choose and freedom to play right now on Android, but in the future on multiple devices.
All right, I love it. How about that? More countries, more games, more devices, and more opportunities for players around the world to get involved. Kareem, how are you working with publishers and developers on Project xCloud?
Well, before we got there, Catherine's actually got more news to share. Grace.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Tell me more.
So, we view Preview as our journey to create the very best in game streaming, together with our community. And today, we will be inviting more of you to come on that journey. And then next year, we will extend Preview to Canada, Western Europe, Japan, and to India. So if you haven't signed up already, what are you waiting for?
Absolutely. There you go. Thank you, Catherine. So, Kareem, let's talk about those publishers and developers. How are you working with other publishers and developers on xCloud?
You know, we're partnering with the industry in true Xbox style. From multiple industries, we're working with the world's best, and that's content designers and publishers and developers, silicon designers, hardware manufacturers, telco operators, and many, many others. They're all coming together to make it possible. And I'm super thrilled to announce that one of our great partners is here with us today. From Electronic Arts, the Chief Technology Officer, and my good friend, Ken Moss.
Fantastic. Everyone give a big welcome to Ken Moss from EA.
How's it going, Ken?
So good to be here.
Welcome.
Welcome to the Inside Xbox stage in London, Ken.
Thank you so much.
So we've worked with our friends at EA for a long time, but you've also been involved in Project xCloud. So how did you get involved, and what does game streaming mean to you?
Well, at EA, we want more players around the world to have more opportunity to play all the games that they love. We've long believed in the power of the cloud and that it's going to transform gaming right at its core. And that starts by bringing all your games to all of your devices. And we're excited about that, where you can play with your friends even when you don't have the same devices. And now that cloud gaming is starting to become a reality, we knew we had to partner with Microsoft on Project xCloud.
Awesome. So how do you actually think about developing games for the cloud?
Well, it's actually one of my passions. It's one of the reasons I joined the industry over 5 years ago. And the power of the cloud is just going to be amazing. It's allow us to build games in brand new ways that are going to be fundamentally different. But it starts with how do we get our games out there and quickly and easily so that they're available on all of your devices no matter how you want to play.
Yeah, our goal is to make it as easy as possible for our partners to build for the cloud. When you build for Xbox, you're automatically building for the cloud. There's no extra dev work required. Ken, when you came to visit us at Microsoft to learn about Project xCloud, that morning I asked my team, hey, go install EA's games on our Project xCloud servers. You came in, and we just jumped in and played. It was that easy.
It was amazing. We got lost in the fun of the game rather than thinking about the technology. And that's how it should be. So thanks so much for that. And it's been really inspiring to see EA's games, our biggest games, showing up on mid-tier mobile devices. So thanks for the great partnership.
Nice. But name some games for me, Ken. What did you play, and what else is coming from EA to Project xCloud?
Well, one of our flagship games that has roots as deep as Electronic Arts itself is one that I want to talk about today. And I'm excited to announce that Madden NFL 20 is now available on Project xCloud. Available today.
Available today. Love it. Touchdown.
And as we continue to learn together about how to make our players, or how our players want to play games in a streaming world, we're looking for new genres to bring. We're looking at huge worlds and RPGs. We're looking at some of our indie studios that we partner with to bring forward. So we're going to be bringing 3 more games to xCloud in the coming months.
Oh, excellent. That's amazing news, Ken. Thank you so much for joining us. Everyone give it up for Ken Moss from EA. Now, Kareem, Catherine, before we go, I heard that you've got something else for us as well.
We often get asked, hey, what happens after preview? So we're here today to announce 2 things. In 2020, we're going to give you the ability to play the games that you own from the cloud or the games that you will purchase in the future. And
we all know that Xbox Game Pass is the best place to discover and play your next favorite game. And I'm delighted to announce that next year we will bring game streaming to Xbox Game Pass so that you are free to discover and play anywhere and everywhere.
Fantastic. What do you think of that? That is amazing news. Tons of news for Project xCloud tonight. Love it. And for those at home interested in participating, you can, of course, still register at xbox.com/game streaming. Get on that. Tons of exciting things for Project xCloud. Kareem, Catherine, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. Everyone, big round of applause for Ken, Kareem, and Catherine. And speaking of exciting stuff coming up, Black Friday is upon us. Larry and Rukari, take it away.
Here we are. I got some good news and bad news for you, Rukari.
What is it?
I have some bad news for your gaming backlog.
Which is already horrendous.
But I have some good news for your gaming backlog.
Go ahead.
Here we go. You ready?
Yes.
It's time to announce some of our Xbox Black Friday deals.
All right, let's go ahead and start with Xbox One deals. You can get up to $150 off Xbox One consoles, including bundles with Gears 5, Forza Lego, NBA 2K20, and more. Now, that means the Xbox One S All-Digital Edition is only $149.99. The All-Digital Edition comes bundled with Minecraft, Sea of Thieves, and, of course, Fortnite Battle Royale.
All right, but to play those games, you need controllers. You'll be able to get up to $20 off controllers, including Night Ops Camo Special Edition, the Fortnite Special Edition, the Gears 5 Kate Diaz Limited Edition. You've seen that beautiful gray one, right? And Design Labs get up to $10 off your personal customizable controller.
All right, that's great. We talk bundles, we talk controllers, but of course we need games. Now you can get up to 50% off Xbox Game Studio titles, including Gears 5, Sea of Thieves Anniversary Edition, Forza Horizon 4, plus discounts on FIFA 20, NBA 2K20 Legends Edition, Borderlands 3 Super Deluxe Edition, and more.
Now finally, if you're an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate or Xbox Live Gold member, you get early access to all of the Black Friday deals on Xbox digital games beginning November 21st.
Now, Microsoft stores are a great place to shop because their Give Wonder guarantee provides free shipping and a pledge to give you the best Microsoft store price of the season.
All right, next up, a franchise you've always wanted on Xbox and one you've never seen before. Take a look.
World premiere.
coming to Xbox Game Pass. But if you don't have an Xbox One X yet, or even an Xbox One, I want to introduce you to Xbox All Access. It is your all-inclusive pass to the world of Xbox, and it includes an Xbox One console bundle, a 24-month membership to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, access to over 100 high-quality games for both console and PC, plus Xbox Live Gold, all for one low monthly price and no upfront cost. Plus, you get the option to upgrade to the next generation of Xbox with Project Scarlet, which releases alongside Halo Infinite in holiday 2020. And players in the US and UK, if you get an Xbox One X with All Access before December 2019, the 31st, that was the date, you can unlock that update in just as few as 12 months. Now, to a little franchise you may have heard of, but first of all, is this looking good? Awesome. Let's have a look. Very nice.
Contact with Visegrad Relay was lost last night.
Reach has been good to me. Time has come to return the favor.
Grafton is done. We need to get out of here now.
You've been wondering what your Spartans died for? They died for this.
Did it drop?
2010, 9 years ago. Are we going to talk about that?
All right, I'm here with Halo Community Director Brian Gerard, and we go way back, all the way to 2010 at least.
We're back again,
when
Halo
Reach originally dropped, and we're going to be talking Reach right now. Before we get to the release date, first, for those who may not be initiated, how does Halo Reach fit into the Master Chief Collection?
Well, Halo Reach is sort of the prequel. This kicks off the whole saga of Master Chief's journey before the events of Halo Combat Evolved. So whether you're an old-time fan or new to the franchise, it's the perfect place to jump in.
Okay, more importantly, when do I get to play it?
Well, we are close now, December 3rd. We are super excited. Halo Reach will be coming to Xbox One and for the first time, PC.
That's going to be such a good time. I cannot wait. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, this Master Chief Collection is an Xbox Game Pass title, yes?
Yeah, totally.
And that's not just on console, that's on PC as well?
Yeah, you'll be able to pick up all of MCC, starting with Reach, on Xbox Game Pass for Xbox and on PC as well. In addition, we are now live for pre-orders on Microsoft Store and Steam for the first time.
Oh, that's going to be a good time, Brian. I got to say, it's crazy, man. I was that kid that was camped out.
I remember you at the launch party.
Right? Oh, this is so horrible.
Here we are. We've come full circle.
You guys really take care of the community, and I got to say thank you for that, but I know you want to give them thanks as well.
Yeah, honestly, we've been working on this project for a long time. The world's waited a long time for Halo to come to PC for real now, so we're excited. We could not have done it without our community, so thank you on behalf of the entire studio, everybody who's been a part of our fighting program. December 3rd is just the first step. We're just getting started. We have a long way to go on this journey, but we're bringing all of MCC to PC, starting with Halo Reach.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Brian. I appreciate it. Now let's take things from space to a little bit closer to Earth, about 30,000 feet in the air to be exact. It's time for the latest from Flight Simulator. Take a look.
of Empires 4, Shannon Loftus, good to see you. Great. Welcome to the
It's so great
stage.
to be here. Thanks. It's a little nervous.
What do you
but
want
it's
to
good
say
be
to
here.
the fans out there?
Oh, gosh. First, I want to say thank you, Age fans, for being so patient with us. I know we talked about Age 4 2 years ago, and then we went quiet. Well, we got it ready, really, to start showing you real gameplay. I do want everybody here to understand what you saw gameplay there is what we are playing every day on the team. So,
Wow. That's unbelievable.
yeah. So today we revealed 2 things.
Okay.
You might find more as you go through the trailers, but the 2 big things are the era of the game, which is the medieval era, and then the second are 2 of our civilizations, the Mongols and the English.
All right. Now, I got to talk to you about this because the Age of Empires is a 20-year franchise with millions of people around the world who played it. What does it mean for your team to bring a new title into the family of this RTS legend?
It means a lot of feelings. The thing about a generational game like this is that you start to meet people who grew up playing the game with their parents, and now they want to play it with their kids.
Right.
And so what it made us realize is that we have this incredible community, and the love and the passion for this game that we've experienced from the community, it seems kind of limitless.
Yeah.
And then when we started thinking about Age of Empires 4 and we're thinking about the great legacy games, we realized that there are still so many stories to be told in human history. And real-time strategy is a genre that has given birth to so many other strategies, and yet it still holds true. We grow our user base every single month, and we kept exploring for the edges of like, what is the limits to the potential for Age of Empire? So last June, we announced that we were forming a dedicated studio for Age of Empires, and today I'm excited to tell you the name of the studio.
Here we go.
It is World's Edge.
World's Edge.
Yeah.
Now, that's fantastic. Now, Age fans don't have to wait to get their age fix, right? Because today is a very special day, right?
Today is an amazing day. I'm so excited. It's the launch day. We launched about an hour and a half ago.
Yep.
This is the best version of Age of Empires 2. It has 4K graphics, up-res everything, all new music, sound effects. We have a whole new civilization, all the DLC, and a ton of quality of life improvements. Most of all, though, what matters to us most is that you, the community that have been so supportive, come along with us on this journey. So play Age of Empires 2DE. We will be listening to you over the weeks and months and making improvements that you suggest, and then help us make Age of Empires 4 the greatest new beginning for a franchise ever.
All right, Shannon, thank you so much for joining us. To get you started, let's take a look at that trailer.
All right, I'm sending more archers. Left tower. Let's go. Hey guys, can we get some trade going?
Well, maybe you should share it. We're a team.
I just sent him out. Okay, I got you. Where are you at?
I can fight a war with one hand. I'm gonna go to base now.
Yes, I cannot wait. Now, at this year's E3, we announced CrossfireX, the first console version of one of the most popular first-person shooters in the world, coming exclusively to Xbox One in 2020. Today, we're debuting a first look at gameplay, but first, we sent Benny out on the road to find out more about the game and the teams behind it.
For the very first time on console, only on Xbox. This is CrossfireX.
It's fast, it's massive, it's going to be free to play. This is CrossfireX. My name's Benny from Xbox On, and I'm about to take you on a world tour to see how 3 teams came together to create one of the most exciting first-person shooters on the horizon. Smilegate Entertainment are the developers of Crossfire, international phenomenon and one of the most popular PC games of all time. They're bringing the next evolution of Crossfire to Xbox next year.
The CrossfireX will bring intense gameplay experience accessible to all kinds of FPS players through somewhat unique and innovative game mode.
Oh, I just got absolutely rinsed.
After 10 years of success, now is the right time for us to prove that what we can do.
Thank you so much for that, but I kind of get a feeling that you let me win.
Yeah.
I've landed in Helsinki, Finland, and I'm heading to Remedy Entertainment. They're experts at combining unique worlds, dark stories, and great combat systems. I want to find out how that translates to building a single-player campaign in CrossfireX.
We're implementing everything that we know from the narrative side into a first-person military shooter. We're taking the decade of background work that Smilegate has been doing for Crossfire. We are starting to bring those live as a single-player experience. There are almost 100 cameras in this space.
That big pillar, is that there intentionally so like you can do like leaning like segments or?
That's there to keep the building upright.
Oh. I'm here in Seattle to talk with Xbox and find out how this all went down. We've got Remedy, we've got Smilegate, and we've of course got Xbox. How is that all working?
It's awesome. My job is just to make everyone's lives easier.
What things in the gameplay should people be getting excited for?
If you want aim down sight experiences, we have that mode available to you. If you like battle royales like I do, we've got one of those. There literally is a type of first-person gameplay experience for most of the players out there.
My trip around the world's come to an end, but there's still one thing we haven't seen: gameplay. Here it is. It's just a little taste of what's to come. Was that trailer, but welcome to London. It's great to see you all in one place this time.
We finally made it all together at the same time. Look at that.
But how are you feeling?
Excited. This crowd is awesome. Thank you, by the way. It's awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah. We're super excited to be here, but even more excited to bring CrossfireX next year to our fans. So we're super excited about that. So on behalf of our great partners at Remedy and Smilegate Entertainment, thank you very much.
We give everyone a round of applause.
Thank you very much.
But I can't wait for you all to get a chance to play the game next year. But thanks again for being here. And also, I can't wait for CrossfireX. But next up, a game our executive producer calls Twins Peaksian. Check this out.
World premiere.
Did you see that guy just then? I keep seeing him bringing home different girls, but I've not seen one of them leave.
I wonder where he's going. I guess there's only one way to find out. Get a video of this. Are you guys...
I'll go and talk to him. Jesus! You've stolen my body! I haven't done anything. There's got to be some cause, some connection between the two of us.
Are there circumstances where it's appropriate to deceive a loved one or partner?
Depends on what I stand to gain. I'm your worst nightmare. Pray that you need never set eyes on me again.
What the hell are you doing?
This is mental! You're gonna witness an annihilation.
Coming up very soon, we have Phil Spencer, and from Wasteland 3, Brian Fargo is stopping by. But first, that's right, you heard it here first. Minecraft Dungeons is coming out starting in April, and to help celebrate the launch and show us something that hasn't been seen before, please welcome executive producer for Minecraft Dungeons, David Nishogan.
Hey.
We've also got games director Mons and senior producer Nathan from the Dungeons team here to show off new gameplay. I'm going to get stuck in a minute, but David, do you want to tell us first what we're looking at?
Short and sweet.
Yeah.
Minecraft Dungeons is a brand new game in the Minecraft universe. And it's inspired by classic dungeon crawlers. And I mean, we can talk a lot about the game, but let's just play it instead, live here on stage. And now, this is live, so I'll just try to explain what's going on. So Mons and Nathan are playing. You see their health bars or hot bars, lower left and lower right. You see these little icons with X, Y, and B. That's special artifacts that they have. They work similar to abilities, like games in the genre. So you use them and they're on a timer, and they have quite juicy special effects.
Ooh, are these dudes with the books as well?
Oh yes, the dudes with the books. Those are mobs called enchanters.
You sure they're not called dudes with books? It's a great name. You can take it if you want.
We'll keep it in mind. Yeah. They actually enchant other mobs and makes them bigger and stronger. Now, Mons and Nathan actually found a secret. Most of the levels in Minecraft Dungeons are procedurally generated. So sometimes you like bump into cool secrets and exciting places. And of course, sometimes you have we had they went back up again.
Someone has done a death.
Someone has done a death. Let's see. That was me. So part of the game is that it's supposed to be fun to play with your friends. And obviously we have implemented lots of cool things about this. So such as like you can revive each other if someone's knocked out.
Yep. Oh, someone dinged.
Sorry.
Someone dinged then.
Someone leveled up. One important thing to keep in mind is that there's no classes in this game. You are what you wear. Everything you pick up, everybody can just equip it. All the different artifacts, ranged weapon, melee weapon, armors, etc.
Hey, this is going to get pretty hairy here.
Yeah, we're coming up.
You want to give us a hand?
All right.
Yeah, I do. Let's do this. Right, it's that one and that one. Okay, right.
There we go.
I'm in.
So the game adapts difficulty automatically, right? So now with 3 people, it's going to be a bit harder.
Oh, great.
As we see, now we have lots of enchanters.
Where's that creeper a different color?
That was an enchanted creeper as well. They're really, really big. So, this is going to be tricky.
No.
Oh, can you do it?
Oh, how did you?
Okay, I'm in the corner. Okay, that's fine.
Right.
All right, I do need to revive someone and not just stand in the corner, but never mind.
There we go.
So
as you see, it's like quite intense and quite, I won't say chaotic, but it's a lot of fun. So as you progress further into the dungeon, you'll see, someone found TNT there. Let's see if someone can pick it up. Cool.
Oh, we can bring it with us.
TNT, obviously you can throw that with a giant explosion.
Okay.
And you see all the different particle effects and all the things that's happening. That's those abilities that people are using, the artifacts.
No, what is this? Good knockback.
Further into these dungeons, it's procedurally generated.
Yeah.
I really don't know what all the cows are doing down there. But they're there, indeed.
Oh no, I hit a sheep back.
Here you see something pretty cool. This is quite rare. You see the character in the yellow is like clicking some buttons. They're solving a puzzle. And that's sort of, those can also happen randomly, quite rare. And that unlocks like the big treasure room in this
I see it there. What we got? Nice.
And lots of cool loot. That
I like those emeralds. That would be, I'd be stealing all those emeralds, but I think we're going to have to stop there, guys. As much as I would love to continue going, I want to say a huge thank you for bringing the world of Minecraft to the X019 stage. Please do not forget the Minecraft Dungeons comes out this April and will be available on Xbox Game Pass. But now it's over to Julia with some fan-favorite franchise news.
Welcome, Ichiro Hazama and Shinji Hashimoto from Square Enix, along with their interpreter, also from Square Enix, Gavin Hoffley. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming. Hashimoto-san, there are some stellar titles coming to Xbox Game Pass for PC. Why don't you tell us more about it?
橋本さん教えていただけますでしょうか。
はい、もちろんです。ついにですね、ファイナルファンタジーシリーズが Xbox Game Pass for Console and PC に参入してまいります。
Okay, so finally, classic Final Fantasy titles will be appearing on Xbox Game Pass for console and for PC.
Oh, yes, let's have a round of applause for that. Oh, beautiful.
漢字のタイトル名。
タイトルいこう。タイトルいきましょう。
Well, tell me the games that we're actually bringing.
7.
Final Fantasy 7.
Okay.
8.
Okay.
9.
Okay.
10 and 10-2.
10 and 10-2.
12.
12.
13.
13.
13-2.
13-2.
Lightning Returns.
Lightning Returns.
そして15.
And Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, wow. はい、10タイトル 9SKU を2020年より順次リリースしてまいります。
So we're bringing 9 titles, 10 different SKUs in sequence to Xbox Game Pass starting next year, 2020.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Big round of applause there. I mean, I didn't need the interpretation for the Final Fantasy bit, but I got the gist, yeah. But that's obviously not the only news that you've got to drop, Hazama-san. What else do you have to say?
風間さん、今日のニュースはそれだけじゃないですよね。
そうですね。自分の方からも来年の話になるんですが、キングダムハーツ HD1.5 プラス 2.5 リミックスと、キングダムハーツ HD2.8 ファイナルチャプタープロローグ、この2タイトルをですね、Xbox コンソール向けにご用意をさせていただきます。
We are very delighted to be able to announce from next year we will be bringing Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 plus 2.5 remix and Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 final chapter prologue to Xbox platforms.
That's amazing.
でこれをもってもう一つながりのねストーリーの最初から、最新作まで、Xbox ファンの皆さんに楽しんでいただけるようになるかと思います。
We believe this will allow Xbox One players for the very first time to experience the entire Kingdom Hearts story from the start right up to the latest game.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Yeah, and then also I hear there's a demo as well if fans could get hands on.
そう。もう一つございまして、実はXbox コンソール向けにまだねキングダムハーツ遊んだことがないってお客様のためにですね、キングダムハーツ3の体験版をご用意をさせていただいております。
And one other thing, yes, for those players on Xbox who have not experienced Kingdom Hearts 3 yet, we have created a brand new demo to introduce you to the game, available on Xbox platform.
Oh,
そしてなんとこれが今日からもう配信開始になりますね。
And it's actually going to be available from today.
Ooh. Sneaky, just getting it in there.
It's free.
体験版だからね。
Demo for free.
Thank you so much.
せっかくなんで皆さんぜひ楽しんでください。
So it's a great opportunity. Please have lots of fun with Kingdom Hearts.
Thank you so much, Hashimoto-san and Hazama-san. And it's so great to hear all the Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy news. Now let's throw it to Larry Ricari with some news Discord fans everywhere are sure to love.
All right, thank you so much, Julia. Starting today and going through the holiday, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members also receive 3 months of Discord Nitro. Now, as you may know, Discord has become the way players and friends connect with each other and their favorite developers.
Whether through chat or voice chat, text, Discord is where teams are formed, raids are organized, and communities are kept up to date on patch notes and content updates. Discord is about connecting with your friends and other players. And Discord Nitro turns that up to 11 with high-quality streams, custom tags, animated emoji, and a bunch of other premium features that make hanging out with your friends more fun. All right, now get the most out of the best chat app for playing games with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and Discord Nitro.
Remember, with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, you're getting more than 100 titles for console and PC and Xbox Live Gold.
Yep.
So you can play and get all the deals and exclusives and Xbox Game Studio titles on launch day, just like Gears 5.
All right, it's time to find out which games are coming to Xbox Game Pass, so let's press play now.
Let me show you what it's all about.
Wow, did you see all those games coming to Game Pass?
I did.
Wow, we should play that again. That is unbelievable. Here's one more piece of Game Pass news. For a limited time, get your first 3 months of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate for $1. Ultimate includes 3 months of unlimited Xbox Game Pass for console and Game Pass for PC, and of course, Xbox Live Gold.
Plus, this holiday, members also get 1 month of EA access to download and play great games from series like Battlefield, FIFA, Mass Effect, and more. 3 months of Discord Nitro, and you'll rock 6 months of Spotify Premium. With that, let's go over to Charlie.
All right.
Now, we've had an absolutely incredible time here at X019, but we're not done yet. Now, we're joined by Head of Xbox. It's Phil Spencer. Welcome to the show. Come on. No, come on, Phil.
Start talking.
Right, well, it's been an amazing celebration of games
Thank you,
here
everybody,
in
for
London.
coming to XO. It's amazing. Thank you.
Talking of XO, what gets you so buzzed for a show like this? Specifically this one. What gets you so excited about doing stuff like this?
Being
Apart
here
from
with
that.
the community of Xbox gamers, people that just love video games, come here to share the love with each other, to get to play the games. It's all about the fans, and I'm just so happy to be here with everyone in London. Our biggest event ever in London. It's awesome. So thank you.
It's pretty good. And actually, I wanted to ask you briefly, before the show even started, we were backstage, we saw the news about Ewok as well, coming to Mixer. Is there anything you want to say about that?
Oh, yeah, bringing Ewok to Mixer. If people haven't seen that news, got announced today. We've been adding more and more streamers. Ewok's a really special streamer and really happy to have her come into the platform. It's just continued growth for Mixer. It's a great community of people watching, people play video games. It's awesome.
Completely agree. Now, we gamers want great games. And today, there was a lot to share from Xbox Game Studios. Should fans get used to this from Xbox Game Studios? Is there even still more to come?
Yeah, you know. Where's that other noise coming from?
I don't know where that came from.
Matt, Booty, and the team have been doing great work. It's great to sit here and come and see, 3 new Xbox Game Studios games announced, seeing just much of our first-party work. Frankly, when we look forward and we're looking at the shows to come, I can't see a show where we won't be announcing new first-party games. There's just so much in development, and there's so few shows that I think this should just be something that we should get used to. Seeing new games from our studios doing amazing work.
Really exciting.
And I hear that's what people want. So
yeah,
that's great.
Absolutely. More games. More games. And talking about games, we also had major third-party news on the show today, and it feels like there's a lot of gamers at home and this room have something to be pretty quite happy about, with some major franchises coming to Xbox very soon. But what's the #1 thing that you consider when bringing this third-party content to the platform?
Well, we know our Xbox fans and customers want great third-party games. Getting to open the show today with Star Wars was really special. It was great to see that. But I think people know I've been on the plane from Seattle to Tokyo quite often and doing some work. And it's just amazing to be sitting here at the show talking about Yakuza coming to Xbox, talking about Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 coming to Xbox, all those Final Fantasy games coming to Xbox, all coming to Game Pass. So for people who haven't played those franchises before and want to try them, they'll be in the service. You can try them. I know there's more work I have to do there. I hear the feedback from the fans and the customers about new franchises that they want, franchises that maybe aren't on our platform today. I just want them to know from me that I hear them, we're on it, and we'll continue to do the hard work to bring the games that you want on our platform.
Okay. I'm going to let them cheer at that one. That was a good one. But talking of hard work, we also heard earlier from Kareem about the expansion of Project xCloud preview program in 2020, with more than 50 games available in preview, new devices support, and new markets in 2020. What else does that mean for gamers?
Yeah, for us, Project xCloud is always about choice. And like many things this generation, we're building this hand in hand with you. The reason we're in preview is because this technology is something that we're working on, and we want to hear feedback from you about how you feel about playing your Xbox games on other devices. We're not trying to claim we're done. We're not trying to claim that we're getting rid of the devices that you already own. This is about us building a service with our community to allow them to take their Xbox experience to the devices with them on the go. The thing that's really great to see is the partnerships that we have. It's not just us building games, it's third parties coming in. We have over 50 games now in Project xCloud, which is amazing progress. We're getting good operators, like the telcos are helping us. We have new third-party hardware manufacturers that are building new input devices and stuff. But it can only be done hand in hand with the community. This is something, the done state is multiple years from now, and we're working on this with the community so that.
So what you want, essentially, is people just to tweet you constantly, like, I
love getting tweets from people, especially the nice ones.
Yeah, especially the nice ones. Hear, hear.
They're all nice, right?
We are nearly at the end of the show, but there is still one pretty big game we haven't talked about yet, and I hear that you are particularly jazzed about this one as well.
Yeah, one of the things, as Matt and I were working through the studio acquisition map, and there were 2 studios that I was really excited about, as was he. One is obviously Obsidian, and we saw Grounded here today. I'm spending a ton of hours in the Outer Worlds right now, not done yet, level 22, but getting close.
Oh, come on.
But I just love the fact that we can bring great RPGs to our platform. I think we've missed that as a first party this generation. So when we had the opportunity to work with inXile and bring a franchise like Wasteland to our platform, Brian Fargo and the team just doing amazing work and seeing the progress that we had, we said, what a great way to finish the show.
Absolutely. And a huge thank you goes to you for everything that we've got going on here. And now to the floor with Benny to round out the show with Brian Fargo and Wasteland 3.
Brian, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We've just heard from Phil about how excited he is about having Wasteland going to Xbox. But for Xbox players out there who haven't played before, what do they need to know?
Well, first, the Wasteland series is a deep and dark post-apocalyptic role-playing game. And you don't need to have played the first 2 Wasteland games. In fact, Wasteland 3 is completely standalone. In the previous Wastelands, you were desert rangers trying to bring peace and harmony to a very messed up world. Only this time you're moving to the frigid Colorado to deal with all new problems. But most importantly, it's a role-playing game, right? Where all of your choices matter, character creation, creating your vehicle, and every conversation you have has rippling effects throughout the entire world that affects the storyline and how people respond to you throughout the world.
Yeah, now there is a very long and deep history for the Wasteland franchise. Can you tell us the journey to Wasteland 3?
The journey's pretty fantastic. We did the first Wasteland. We set out to make a very dark, humor, role-playing game with moralistically tough choices, all the way back in 1988. It was a big success, but then we weren't able to do a sequel. So we took everything we learned from Wasteland, and we made a little game called Fallout. And we did Fallout 1, and we did Fallout 2. I then left that company, and then I got the rights to Wasteland back after 2 decades. I was dying to do a Wasteland 2. We went out to our fans via Kickstarter and said, we want to do a sequel. We raised $3 million directly from our fans who wanted to see the game. That was a success. And then we started number 3 about 3 years ago, wanted to make it bigger and better. But then Microsoft came along and really just turned on the juice. So now we've got 500,000 words of dialogue, fully voiced. You're going to see the visual upgrade here. It's been huge. Soundtrack-wise, we brought on the music supervisor who did all the Quentin Tarantino films to give it a very unique kind of vibe. And so, and through all that, we won Best Role-Playing Game of the Show at Gamescom last year. And I think the best part about this journey is from those humble beginnings to being here today, showing it off to this large audience. It's fantastic.
Can we get everybody a huge round of applause? Because it just shows why everyone is so excited for this franchise and this game to come to us. And it gives us great pleasure to throw to this world premiere trailer. But before we do, on behalf of all our Xbox fans, the entire cast and crew of Inside Xbox and X019 here in London, thank you so much for watching today. And also, remember, X019 is just getting started. Keep it right here all weekend for our special panels, including Halo, Gaming for Everyone, and Minecraft, just to name a few. We will be broadcasting them throughout the day, Friday and Saturday on mixer.com/Xbox. Now, to close things out properly from the Inside Xbox stage, it's the newest look at Wasteland 3. Goodbye, everyone.
Hello everyone out there in the Wasteland. On today's show I want to talk to you about our world.
I must have dreamed 1,000 dreams.
The world you see now is a very scary place.
Haunted by a million screams.
Democracy, equality, and freedom all died when the bombs fell. And we've been walking on their ashes ever since.
Into the night.
Especially here in Colorado.
There's too many men, too many people making too many problems.
The 3 children of our patriarch are even more ruthless than he is.
Much love to go around.
We live in a society built on violence.
Can't you see this is the land of confusion?
But it wasn't always like this. Over 100 years ago, everything was different. I believe we can get back there if we fight this oppression. If we are fearless against the evils of the world, we can be everything we were in 1987. That's our show for the day. Tune in tomorrow, and we're going to talk about the dangers of cannibalism.
Can't you see this is the land of confusion?
This is how we...
Welcome everyone to X019. We are live from London. I'm Sydney Goodman. I'm joined by Joe Scrabbles and none other than Aaron Greenberg. Hey Aaron, thanks for stopping by. Congratulations.
Thank you for having us at your very noisy show.
We put on a big show. We did it just for our friends at IGN.
Thank you, so kind. And you even invited everyone to cheer just for our stream, right?
We did. It's worked out.
So obviously fans are excited. I personally am so excited to hear about all of the Japanese games coming to Xbox, coming to Game Pass. I'm a huge Tekken fan, so to hear that Tekken is coming, Game Pass is so exciting.
Yes. I am a little bit of the British flavor, like Everwild. I still don't know what that game is, and I am vaguely obsessed with it already. Like,
Good.
It's always nice to hear that Rare are doing something new, so I'm very excited about that. What are you most excited about after that show?
I'm just excited that we got to share a little bit of what we're working on. I mean, what you saw today was our biggest show for first-party games we've had in a long time. We had 12 first-party games in the show. We announced 3 brand new IPs that we're bringing. Everwild, a great example of that. For me, I was there when Sea of Thieves, our first pitch with Rare, and went on that journey with them, and I have such an admiration for what they do when they go create something new. And I think what they're doing with Everwild, a whole second team focused on that, is going to be really magical. Working with Don't Nod, we haven't worked with them on a game. Working on a first-party game with them with Tell Me Why, and bringing that out in back-to-back chapters will be great for fans, and a really unique, special story that I think people should definitely pay attention to. And then Obsidian. We know Obsidian has hundreds of people at the studio. There's 13 of them that went away and worked on, something really thoughtful. It's kind of a survival, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids survival game, and it's got a lot of heart, and we're going to be bringing that this spring.
It's crazy having, whilst people like me are still working our way through Outer Worlds, we've got another Obsidian game announced. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. Listen, Outer Worlds is getting a lot of Game of the Year nominations. It's been critically acclaimed. I think that's something, it's a great example we think really has franchise material for us. And so you're not going to hear the end of that, but also there's other teams at Obsidian working on a lot of other exciting projects too. But one of the great things is when we do add these creative teams to Xbox Game Studios is we give them the full freedom to go make the games they want to make. And I think what you're seeing with Grounded is an example of a title that was a passion project for them, and they want to bring it into game preview, they want to get fans' feedback, and we're excited to support them with that.
Yeah, and that's awesome because I know even Bleeding Edge was also something that was a passion project, and now it's here on the show floor, and that's exciting.
And it's a whole separate team, right? We know Tamim is off, and he had created something really special with Hellblade, and there's a whole group kind of thinking about what's his next creation. But Ronnie Tucker, she worked on Devil May Cry. She's just really wanted to create something special with Bleeding Edge. We have a date for Bleeding Edge, February 24th, so excited to be able to release that soon. So anyway, great showing. I think you're now seeing we have this huge pipeline now of first-party games. It's the biggest spring we've ever had. It'll be the most games we've ever launched in 2020 for a first-party studio. And of course, we're supporting Xbox in a big way. We're bringing all these games day and date to Game Pass. We also saw some great new PC games. We showed first
gameplay for Age 4. We showed Flight Sim, which I think is visually the most beautiful game I've ever seen. You know, and you know the fact that we got Wasteland 3 coming as well, and day and date to Game Pass from Exile is another game to be excited about for PC fans.
It's really cool. And another big part of this show, something close to my heart, as well as the UK in general. You're working in partnership with Special Effect today, which is an amazing charity. If you haven't heard of it, go and look it up. I know you visited with those guys.
I mean, as soon as I landed, I went there. I spent the day with them. A lot of people in the UK have supported them, a lot of the people in the gaming community, but people outside the UK don't know about their work as much. But what they do is they work to enable gamers with disabilities to be able to play games just like the rest of us.
Yeah.
Whether you were born with a disability or for some reason you're in an accident or paralyzed, they use the things like the Xbox adaptive controller, but they also go to people's homes and build custom solutions for them.
That's awesome.
Or no matter how limited, if you can use one hand, they'll make a controller that is one stick that can switch with the left and right, but also switches, they'll customize it, and even if you have no mobility in your hands, they will use eye tracking to let you control and play games just like the rest of us. And I actually played this thing called iMind. I played Minecraft with my eyes, and I attacked and killed a pig with not using my hands at all. And so it's really inspiring the work they're doing. We're using all of our proceeds from tickets to this event are all going to Special Effect, so we can help make sure that everybody can play games just like the rest of us.
Fantastic.
That's awesome. Well, somehow we're out of time already. So thank you so much, Aaron, for coming by. We have so much coming up. We have the devs from Grounded coming by later today. We got first hands-on impressions on Resident Evil Project Resistance, and Phil Spencer's coming by, so you don't want to miss that. Make sure you stick around. More X019 is coming at you right after this.
Reggie Fils-Aimé is retiring.
Eagle-eyed fans are combing through every last frame. I came prepared.
Oh.
Stay right here on IGN.
And keep it locked to IGN.
IGN Now. New news that's new to you. Introducing the all-new Up-It News.
Don't touch it. What's wrong with you? Get corn snack. Game sucks. Bring it back.
Up at noon. Weekends on IGN and YouTube.
Welcome back to IGN at X019 here in London. I'm joined by Robbie Asadero from Obsidian, and you've got a new project on the go, right?
Yeah, we got Grounded here on the show floor. It's we've been pretty excited to finally get to show it off to people. It's been a great response so far.
So it's quite an interesting project because we're used to, the last few years we've seen lots of RPGs out of Obsidian, but this is not an RPG at all. It's a brand new survival project. If you could explain a little bit about what that means for you.
Yeah, so we've been tossing around the idea of doing a survival game at the studio for quite a while now, and it wasn't until Deadfire started to wind down that we had a brainstorming session and said, okay, if we wanted to do a survival game, what would we want to do? And the unique idea of what if you were shrunk down to the size of an ant came up, and it started to resonate pretty strongly at the studio. So our project director, Adam Brennicky, took it over to Fergus. Fergus says, you know what, go ahead. So we got together like a team of 14 developers, and we've just been flexing our creative muscles, and we've just ran away with it.
Awesome. So, I mean, when I look at it, the immediate, what I assume was your inspiration was kind of like a little bit of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids in there, but presumably there's a lot more to it than that. Could you explain sort of like where you've drawn some of your ideas from?
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that we grew up with that everyone's had that fantasy of, what if we were small, what if we got to interact with bugs. There's a lot of movies, a lot of books that the team has taken inspiration from, and we're just hoping we can create our own little unique twist on this setting.
Mm-hmm. So what does that mean for a player, like being shrunk down? Because we are used to, quite frequently in games we're either human-sized or bigger than human because we're in mechs or stuff like that. What does it mean to be so small? Yeah, so you have to find ways to interact with the world that you're normally not used to. So, now you can use grass in an interesting way to build bases. There's lots of little unique roots and rocks, and now the bugs are actually now these fantastical things that you have to interact with and be wary of. They're used to craft, so it creates a unique and interesting perspective that we get to have a lot of fun and play around with as a dev team. Awesome. And presumably sort of like being taken down to that sort of size where like the environment as kind of like a geoscape, I suppose, is kind of important. What sort of elements can we expect? Are we seeing sort of like creatures that interact with each other? Are we seeing like different fauna and stuff like that?
Yeah, so there'll be a lot of different biomes that you get to explore that each have their unique items that you can find, different creatures and insects, and there'll be different gameplay elements that you'll be interacting with in each of these environments. And we've built the system such that each of the creatures in the game have their own little wants, desires, and so, like, for example, a ladybug could get hungry, so they have to go find creatures to hunt, like aphids, and you as the player can interact with that in a way where if you hunt all the aphids, well, now the ladybug's got to migrate, and that might push them over to new biomes, and there might be predators for them, and the more you as a player start to disturb that natural order, you better be ready to start paying the consequences, so...
And in terms of, obviously, survival games are well known for crafting mechanics. So can you explain sort of like what your approach has been there?
Yeah, so we want to have a crafting mechanic. We want it so that you have to start finding a lot of these natural resources in the world or bug parts and start having to build tools, buildings, traps, and everything to kind of help survive. It's been a unique challenge to try to create that same system in that unique setting because, you have to find interesting ways to use all this small fauna and plant life. So the one thing we're trying to do with the crafting system specifically is we know that sometimes that can be a little bit of a rough edge for incoming players to the survival genre. So we're finding ways to help make the interface and the way you craft intermediate materials a lot easier for new people.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, the survival genre has been known as being quite an unforgiving place, or sort of like be. Is there anything that you're doing to kind of make maybe that genre a little bit more accessible to people?
Yeah, I mean, for starters, we still want this at its core to be a survival title. So if you're looking for that survival experience, that's what you're going to get. But we do know that we've played a lot of these games. There's aspects of it that we felt we could smooth out or tutorialize, and we want to have a narrative that helps also guide the player forward. So this is something that's been a big focus on our team, and we also want to have modes. So if you're maybe not so much into the survival aspect, there will be modes where you can just explore the world, build, see everything that's fun. And if you're looking for a harder experience, then we'll have extra modes for that as well.
Mm-hmm. And just as a final question, obviously narrative has always been super important to Obsidian. How are you finding putting that into a survival game that typically they don't normally go that way?
Yeah, so since this game is so unique, we still want a story aspect because we think that'll help guide players and find something interesting to always kind of explore. So we're trying a few different elements. The way we tell the story, we want there to be a lot more environmental storytelling. We want the players to kind of explore in their own unique ways to start piecing together how this world has come and how all these corporations and places kind of just mix into the story of how these characters came to be.
Okay, there's plenty of fascinating stuff. I'm sure we'll see more in the future.
Yes.
That's it for Obsidian with us here at X019, but do stay tuned for more.
Fact. IGN is better at video games than all other outlets. All video games. Who's a good boy?
We're also the best at being incredibly humble.
I just on you, kid. I got him.
Yeah! Whoa! Yes, yes, yes!
Welcome back. We are now going to talk about Rare, because it is a big day for Rare, Mike, isn't it?
It is a very big day for a very exciting show.
Yeah, this is the first new Rare announcement in 4 years, is that right? Everwild?
Yeah, it's great to be here with their new IP Everwild, but also still talking about Sea of Thieves and everything we're doing and what we're excited about.
I would be remiss if I know you've already told me off air that we can't talk much about Everwild, but is there anything you can tell us? What's the broadest possible strokes that you're allowed to say what Everwild is?
I think that's fair. Now, I think, as you know, and I'm sure you can appreciate, Rare has always been a company that wants to push and do interesting things and innovate. And what I will say is, like us on the Sea of Thieves team, we're very excited for what the Everwild team are doing. And, Louise and her team on Everwild will be sharing more in the coming months. But it's very exciting.
Can you say there are any hints in the trailer as to what people might be able to get up to? Should people be studying?
I accept no less that Rare fans and gaming fans will go through frame by frame and try and deduce what's being kind of like said there, but like they absolutely should do that.
Okay, excellent. I won't bog you anymore. I know you're not going to say anything. I would love to talk about Rare as a 2-game studio.
Yeah,
sure. This is really interesting to me. You've worked on one major project for such a long time, and now there are two. I know that you've got a barn full of people at Rare HQ working on Everwild, and even more barns working on Sea of Thieves. And what does that mean for the company? It must be strange moving from that sort of solid whole to this is a bit more split up, and are you meeting over lunch and swapping stories about what you're working on?
I mean, of course. I mean, we're an incredibly open company, and I think the best thing to kind of say is like it's just so exciting. Even though like us on the Sea of Thieves team, knowing that just to kind of across the pond in the next barn, you've got this team kind of innovating and doing interesting things, and like to be at a company where we had a new IP with Sea of Thieves, and now we've got another new IP with Everwild. It's like just great place to work, great energy in the studio, and it's just wonderful to kind of share that with your teammates at work.
Absolutely.
It's a very exciting time for us as a studio. And of course, we've got obviously Battletoads as well that we're working on with Delilah. Obviously, they're huge Battletoads fans, and it's great to bring that IP back to kind of a modern audience. So just a great time to be a developer working at Rare and being interested in all these kind of creative opportunities we have.
Is this what it's going to be like for the foreseeable future? Is this Rare as a company now? Because we've seen it in different iterations over the years. Does this feel like Rare is this company now? We're making new IP. We're making interesting like your games as service and all that stuff. Like you're working in a kind of in a new way, it feels like.
I think Rare as a company, the bit that's most inspiring about working there is that we've always got our eye on the future, and I think that's what you need to do in the games industry, is always kind of have your eye on those creative ideas that are coming next and bubbling up in the kind of the background. And like even if you are just working on one game, you've always got to have your eye on the future.
Cool. Well, let's put our eye on the future of Sea of Thieves, which you can talk about a bit more openly. I'll stop bugging you. Tell us about Seabound Soul. Like, what do you see as like the linchpin pieces of this update?
Yeah, so the Seabound Soul includes our first new Tall Tale since Anniversary. Obviously, Anniversary time, we released 9 Tall Tales as part of that Shores of Gold narrative, and this is the first new Tall Tale that uses those platform of tools to tell stories in the shared world. And if you saw kind of the trailer tonight, you saw the mysterious Captain Pendragon emerging from the painting, and Shipwreck Bay, an island in Sea of Thieves, has been there since their early technical alphas. People have been sailing there, exploring there, and it's going to dive into the story of that wreck, why the wreck is there, who is Captain Pendragon, what's the story behind it. It's got some cool little cliffhangers in there, so It's going to be really kind of cool to see how that goes down with their audience. It's gone down really well with their insiders, so I can't wait to see that release. Other big part of Seabound Soul, of course, for us, they're tools, not rules. We always try and put new tools in the Sea of Thieves world. We've got fire, so fire bombs are coming to Sea of Thieves, and these are the first throwable weapon type.
Right, yeah.
So you can throw them, so you can use them in personal combat, you can use them in bounties, you can use them anywhere in the world, you can find them in barrels, but you can also load them into the cannons. So it totally changes the gameplay in terms of how you engage with ship battles. There's also a water barrel on the ship now.
Okay.
So you've got easy access to water to put these fires out. Even if you leave a chicken on your hob and you let it burn over, you could come back to your ship on fire. So
oh, wow. So fire is a bit more of an actual sort of chemical element in the way the game plays out.
Absolutely. It can spread across the ship and it can get out of control pretty fast. And again, a real game-changing element to Sea of Thieves. And then the same way you've seen us do in the last kind of monthly updates, we always try and put quality of life improvements there, little changes to enrich the gameplay. So there's also the portable ammo crate in there.
Oh, nice.
So you can have the sniper in the crow's nest, you can have a little portable ammo crate that you can take down and restock, take that with you on an island to take on bounties. So just these, like the whole landscape of Sea of Thieves are changing by adding these little tools in there, and Seabound Soul's got some nice ones in there.
That's really exciting. I can't wait to see more. I am sad to say that we have run out of time already. These interviews are really short, man. We have got so much more coming from X019, so stick with IGN.
We've got 10 pieces of trivia about Metal Gear Solid, Star Wars,
Apex Legends,
Crash Bandicoot, Nintendo. But there's a catch. One of them is completely made up. False. Fake.
Bull.
Can you figure out which one it is before the end of the video?
Hey there! Do you have opinions on games, movies, TV, or other weird stuff on the internet? You can take part in our new show, Power Ranking, where you can vote on all your favorite things on the internet. Go to IGN's YouTube community tab to join this discussion. Do it now! Do it! Just go! Vote! Go vote!
Right, welcome back to IGN at X019 here in London. And I'm with Adam Icegreen from Microsoft.
Yes.
And we're here to talk a little bit about Age of Empires. Now, I think the biggest thing for a strategy fan at this event is the fact that we're finally seeing a little bit more of Age of Empires 4. We've had that teaser, right? And that's finally shown us a bit of the game. It's given us an idea as to what time period it's set in, right?
Yes, correct. So we love the medieval time period. It's so classically Age of Empires. We felt there was so many new stories that we could tell within that time space that we wanted to go back there for Age 4. If comparing it to something like Age 2, you'll find that the time period is slightly larger. So it starts a little earlier than what you might expect in Age 2, and it goes up kind of to the end of the Renaissance, right to the edge of the Renaissance. Okay. So we have a time period kind of, I'm not giving you specific dates because that might give too much away.
You don't want people heading over to Wikipedia.
Oh, no,
exactly
and be like, okay, what campaigns could they have possibly done because of this? So yeah, I can't go there, but suffice it to say that that's kind of the time period that we're having the game set in.
Okay, can you tell me why you chose that?
Part of it is the accessibility of that time period. Knights, castles, this kind of like wonderful balance between kind of the unit types. It's all something that we really loved in that time period, and we thought that there's so many stories to tell in that time period. And while I can't talk about campaign at all today, I really wish I could, but we're doing so many new things with campaign and how we approach history and how we tell and relate history to modern day that it was an opportune time period for us to use in order to do those things. And so we went all over the place, believe me, like where do we set the game? And we finally centered on this just because of the wealth of stories that we could tell going into the future.
And obviously part of the way that you tell those stories is through the units and the factions and the nations that we look at. I think eagle-eyed people will have been able to look at that trailer and sort of figure out, okay, I know certain uniforms or styles of armor that were used, but can you introduce us to who we'll be able to play as?
Right, so I'm not going to tell you all the civilizations, but the two that we've shown in the trailer today are the English and the Mongols. Like how they met on a battlefield, it's a game. But the great thing about it is we really wanted to make sure Age of 4 is very much about being authentic to history. And so not only did you get a peek at the English, who very much look like something you would see in Age 2, and that's intentional. We wanted them to be a civilization that you could jump into and play it very easily and have a great experience getting into Age of Empires 4 and all the things that are different about 4. Whereas the Mongols are probably one of our most extremely unique civilizations compared to what people have played before in Age of Empires. So where the English are going to play very familiar, Mongols, yeah, you're not playing the same way you played Age of Empires before. And across all the civilizations, I think you'll find all these interesting, unique elements as they get more and more diverse from each other as you explore them.
Okay, that's interesting. One of the other interesting elements of this is that obviously you've brought Relic in to develop it. They're known very well for the company Heroes games, for the Warhammer 40,000 Dawn of War games. What do you feel that they're bringing to Age of Empires?
You know, the wonderful thing about Relic is, and they self-admit this, they're a company that loves tying the shoelaces. Like, they're so obsessed with history that the minutiae of history, all of these small little facets of how units would work and how the armor would look, all of that's been captured and researched. They took trips all around the world with all of the civilizations that we're putting into Age 4 to find all of these interesting and fascinating nuances because they're such fans of history. And of course that shows in the other franchises that they have, but they've really brought that to bear in Age 4 in a way that we've been ecstatic about working with Relic. They've been an incredible partner for us. And they love Age to death, right? And it's just been great to see them embrace that. And as people play the game and 4K HDR, you zoom down on soldiers and you start to see the actual armor is correct to what they would wear for that civilization and that time period and that age.
Absolutely, I am so excited to be able to finally, at some point in the future, get my hands on that. Thank you, Adam, for joining us on that. And that is everything from Age of Empires 4 from IGN at X019. But there's still plenty more coming up next.
Reggie Fils-Aimé is retiring.
Eagle-eyed fans are combing through every last frame.
I can't prepare.
Oh.
Stay right here on IGN.
And keep it locked to IGN.
IGN Now. New news that's new to you. Introducing the all-new Up-It News!
Don't touch it. What's wrong with you? Get corn snack. Game sucks. Bring it back.
Up at noon, weekends on IGN and YouTube.
Welcome back to X019. We are all here to talk about Resident Evil, Project Resistance.
Yes, yeah. Well, just Project Resistance, actually, isn't it?
They're not even putting, they've got the RE as a little C.
Yeah.
I don't really do, like, what is that? Not abbreviations, but where the letters stand for something?
Acronyms.
Acronyms, thank you. I have a hard time with that. I don't know, maybe it's the LOL, like when that was really popular. Now I just say the whole thing.
Yeah.
Just leave it alone.
Okay, so let's just start from the top. We all got to play. We all played together, actually.
Yes.
And my experience with Resident Evil is slim to none. I have a huge amount of respect for the games, but I am the biggest scaredy cat to the point where I've said in the office I will not play this game for any reason.
Oh my God.
Because I am so afraid and I just sweat so much.
But they're the best people to watch playing these games.
Yeah, you were the most fun whilst we
You
were
would think, but a lot of the internet yelled at me. They thought I was faking it. And so after that, I was like, okay, well, if you're not having a good time watching me and I'm freaking out, then we can all just agree.
We're just not going to do it.
Yeah.
And then Joe.
I'm a bit more of a passing Resi fan.
Okay.
I've played some, I've not played others. Like, it's not always my deal, but I like it. I have a healthy respect for it.
Yeah.
And then Dale is Mr. Resi.
Yeah, I think it's an understatement to say I'm a massive fan, really. So I've played every main series of the game through to completion several times. It played most of the spin-offs, actually, as well, even though some of them are probably not worth playing, to be honest. But this one
really feels like it might be.
Yeah,
I had a
definitely.
great time. It was super fun.
So, like, to explain, it's the 4v1. It's almost like, do you remember Fable Legends?
So, yes, I remember that's the cancelled one there.
Yes, it
right?
is. Yeah. So that was 4 heroes trying to get through from one side of a map to another side of a map, whilst in this case, it's a mastermind sets traps and enemies to stop them from getting through. So they're trying to solve puzzles and go into combat with zombies whilst not running out of time going through. I think you described it really well as the mastermind, you're essentially watching rats go through a maze, and you're trying to test them.
Absolutely, and it feels like it leans into the control freak aspect of me, whereas you feel like supremely powerful, like you're constantly manipulating them, just watching them, and then setting up traps in forward rooms, knowing that they're going to come at any moment, and you can't wait to see what you've got in store for them.
Yeah.
Well, and what I thought was really interesting was as the mastermind, you could actually see the solutions to their puzzles.
Yeah.
So you could kind of predict movements or decide, like, you guys were really, when I was the mastermind, you guys were really close to solving a puzzle where you needed like 3 pieces, and I saw where the third piece was, and I just dumped a ton of zombies in it.
Yeah.
It was like, they'll have to deal with this at some point. So I did like that you do have so much knowledge that the other players don't have, in addition to controlling the map.
You're kind of playing the horror director. Like, you're the guy watching the heroes go through this horrible trial, and you're the person setting them. Actually, not unlike Cabin in the Woods. Like, I'm spoiling some of Cabin in the Woods now, I apologize. But that feeling of just dropping stuff behind someone and creating a jump scare for someone else. We had moments where someone on our team, on voice chat, was like, "Oh, who's that behind me?" And it was you playing as Mr. X. So you can drop a Mr. X as a boss character that you control.
Yes.
And it created a jump scare for the whole team. It's like, wow, that's such a cool idea.
I can think of an exact moment, actually, which also leans into this sort of horror directing sort of aspect, where there was this console, and I knew everybody had to get, like you said, there was the one they had to get. And so I placed all my zombies, I placed one on the floor, I placed a dog, I placed liquor as well. But then just before people came around the corner, I shut the lights off as well.
Yeah.
So they walk around the corner, and then the lights come back on, and then they just see this horde right in front of them, and it brings a lot of satisfaction.
And fun thing about, we haven't talked a lot about being the heroes. That's kind of your standard Resi experience.
Yeah.
You're going through, you can buy, in safe rooms, you can buy sort of guns and weapons and green herbs and stuff to keep you going through. But as the mastermind, you've got this element of, you can choose presets, you can choose ways to choose how to drop things around people. Yeah. And so for my preset, I chose a really trap-heavy map. So I was like, I want landmines all over this place.
Yeah, I noticed that.
That's it. There were very few zombies, and so people were walking into rooms and being like, "Oh, there's no one here," and stepping on a landmine.
Yeah.
It's like, this is so cool. Like, I'm creating my own horror maze.
Yeah. And so we're running out of time, but just super, super, super quickly, I did want to touch on the fact that, we had a great time playing the Masterminds. But when you're playing as, I don't know, the opposite of the masterminds, like the rats in the maze, more or less, you do have abilities. So there's passive abilities, and then you have kind of like an ultimate.
Yeah.
And each kind of play a role on the team. And I got the kicking guy.
Yeah.
He was a tank, but
he can boot down doors.
He kicked things.
Yeah.
And he was my favorite. So if you get to play, you should definitely play as the kicking guy who's the tank.
Kicking guy. That's what they call him on the menus. It's pretty good.
Everybody's just named like hacking person, kicking guy. That's not actually true. They gave them names.
Yes.
But I don't know. What were you gonna say?
I was going to talk more about those different types. These classes. You've got this feeling of like, I think they're going to drop more character types in there.
They have said that.
So it's not just that we were playing with a hacker, a healer, a tank. You've got this idea that you're going to specialize, and then you're going to bring something to a team that might be different every time you play.
Yeah.
There's a real amount of customization in there.
And it's completely crucial to work as a team as well, because from our little experience, I found that any time anybody veered off the path, the mastermind could absolutely dominate the situation, but the way to win is to stick together and work together at all times.
Yeah.
And that way it feels like you've got the upper hand.
Yeah.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Absolutely.
All right, so on that note, we have the devs of Flight Simulator coming by, and of course, stay around because we have Phil Spencer coming by as well. We'll be back with more X019 right after this.
Hey there! Do you have opinions on games, movies, TV, or other weird stuff on the internet? You can take part in our new show, Power Ranking, where you can vote on all your favorite things on the internet. Go to IGN's YouTube community tab to join this discussion. Do it now! Do it! Just go! Vote! Go vote!
Introducing the all-new Up-It News!
Don't touch it. What's wrong with you? Get corn snack. Game sucks. Bring it back.
Up at noon, weekends on IGN and YouTube.
Welcome back to X019. We are still live here in London, and today, I am joined by Jinwoo Jung. Now, you are the technical art director over at Smilegate, and we are talking about your new game, CrossfireX. For people who don't know, can you describe for us CrossfireX?
Okay, CrossfireX is Smilegate Entertainment's first Crossfire experience being developed exclusively for console and with all new images for the Xbox players. And it's very fast-paced and intensive gameplay experience. It's free-to-play first-person shooter experience with a variety of multiplayer modes and the single-player campaign that are developed by Remedy Entertainment. And also we have a Battle Royale mode, which is very unique to CrossfireX. So there will be something for everyone, every kind of FPS players.
So Crossfire on PC is a beloved PC game. What similarities does CrossfireX share with that?
While CrossfireX is maintained pretty much many of the same core elements that made original Crossfire success on PC, and we are improving some of the elements the team has undertaken to make a brand new experience as well. The CrossfireX will feature the high-quality visuals as we are making the entire games from ground up using Unreal Engine 4. And we're also taking all the good elements from the original Crossfire, like the original maps and the modes, and not just using it, and we refine it and make it better to the presenting to the players, to the better experience as well.
Awesome. Well, so what would you say fans of shooters will be most excited about in CrossfireX?
I think fans of shooters will be excited because we have so many variety of maps and modes. For example, we have like single-player campaign mode. We have so many different type of multiplayer mode, and we have a classic PvP, which is we're taking good essence from original Crossfire, and we have very unique its own PvP mode just for the Xbox One players as well. And as well as we have a single-player campaign mode that Remedy Entertainment is developing. So people will get to know what the Crossfire world is offering, and they will find out the backstories about global conflict and the blacklist while they are fighting each other.
It really sounds like there's
Yeah.
something for every type of like first-person shooter fan out there. Well, Jin, thank you so much for coming by. We have more X019 coming at you right after this.
Fact. IGN is better at video games than all other outlets. All video games. Who's a good boy?
We're also the best at being incredibly humble.
I just on you, kid.
I got him.
Yes, yes, yes.
Welcome back to IGN. We're here in London at X019, and I'm joined by Jörg Newman from Flight Simulator. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Flight Simulator, we've not had one for quite some time now.
That is true.
What's it been like to bring it back?
It's awesome. I mean, so the last one that Microsoft shipped was in 2006. And what's awesome about it is the fans stayed loyal to it. They've been playing ever since. There's a whole ecosystem of companies that makes add-ons. So when we came back, like this year at E3, it's the first time we announced, it was such a warm welcome of the fans. It was just heartwarming, you know, because we've been working on this for a few years now, and it was, are people going to be ready for it, and do they really want it? And the answer is absolutely, and people are so glad that we're back.
And here at X019, you've obviously come with some announcements.
We did.
Boeing, I believe, being one of the biggest.
Yes, finally.
I mean, it feels like you can't have a flight simulator without Boeing,
Isn't
right?
that right? That's exactly right. Yeah, so we've worked, obviously Boeing is also in Seattle, so we work quite close with them, but it takes time to do the right thing. So today we're announcing a 747-8i,
right?
Which is an awesome plane, super iconic. And yeah, it sort of ends the story. Like at E3 we had shown anything from a Cessna 172 to an Airbus 320neo. But we always looked at like, my God, we need a Boeing plane. We need one of the big ones. So it's we couldn't be more happy.
And I know that sort of like Boeing is so iconic because we've all been on Boeing planes whenever we've been abroad and stuff like that. But what does that mean for players? You know, what does a Boeing plane bring to the experience?
Oh, I think a lot of people are aspirationally wanting to fly a big commercial airliner. You know, everybody starts out with like here in Europe with a Robin or something, in America oftentimes with the Cessna. But the aspiration always is to go fly one of the big ones, and they're obviously much more complicated than the sort of the entry-level planes. But it is the pinnacle of flying. So yes, couldn't be happier.
Absolutely. And in terms of what you'll be able to do with a Boeing, I assume sort of like those elements of the game will be very much like flying commercial flights, learning all of that side of the simulation, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we have, I mean, so the cockpit, we actually scan the cockpits.
Okay.
And all the instrumentation is the correct instrumentation. We have a flight computer, just like a Boeing has a real flight computer. So you really get to learn the entire electronic system, every gauge that's in there. So you can go very deep.
Yeah, so in terms of like the depth of what you have, obviously that's commercial flight, which is presumably an entirely different discipline to the various other kind of flight mechanics. Can you explain just a few, what other types of planes that we'll be able to use, what other vehicles?
Yeah, I mean, so it's that range, what we call GA aircraft, general aviation aircraft, and we have a Robin plane, it's a European plane. Some of them are almost acrobatics, so you can start doing some acrobatics with them and flips and stuff. But then there's general aviation aircraft, just like people take from airport to airport at their local airports, which is like the 172. Then there's commercial jets. Like we're actually also here today announcing a Citation CJ4, which is a super cool jet. And then we have a TBM, which is a really fast plane. It's like with a rotor engine. And then goes all the way to the big airliner. So we have the entire spectrum of planes that people like.
So it's sort of like what you were saying with sort of like being able to do kind of like flips and loops. You've got anything from thrill seeker to people that effectively want to safely take X amount of 100 people.
And then we actually have an X-Cub. I don't know if you know the X-Cub, but it's a really sturdy plane. So people take that on bush trips.
Right.
So you can land anywhere, which is also really cool. Because we have every airport on Earth, right?
Right.
There's, we think, 48,000 airports. So we have them all. But then there's a lot of people who just want to go fly into a riverbed, and there's less challenges in the real world where people do that. And so we can do that too. We have like the one of the best pipers with like a really sturdy frame, so you can take it everywhere.
You mentioned, obviously, their challenges, and so this is, while it is Flight Simulator, it's not just purely about, say, flying. There are these kind of elements that you can tease out of people to encourage them to do other things in the world, right? Could you give us an example of some of these challenges?
Yeah, landing challenges. We actually have one here on the show floor. It's a famous airport. It's called Courchevel in France. It is because the runway is sloped. It actually goes straight down a mountain, so when you stand on it, it literally falls like a ski slope. And landing on that is really hard. So you need to approach it just right. You need to throttle back. And we have epic competitions amongst the team. Trust me, every day we come in, try to beat our high score.
Yeah.
So it's like a game in that way.
Yeah, and I mean, like for anybody that sort of like is into their hardcore sims, there still obviously is all of that. I know that kind of like one of the other guys from IGN was down there playing it earlier and was talking about how like when you're in the Alps, because of the air, you've got to get the fuel mix right because of the density of the air and stuff like that.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, we've taken this so far. Like we're simulating the entire Earth's atmosphere. I don't know how much you know about this, but we have data all the way up to 65,000 feet. We have clouds in 32 layers. We have all the right wind direction, precipitation. We have the dirt particles in the air. And you really have to, if you've ever flown a small aircraft, it's like swimming.
Right.
It's just like it. And so you have to feel the air and really do the right thing. All the turbulences are right, so our entire wind system is accurate. Mm-hmm. And it's real-time weather. So it's just fascinating, you know. Like yesterday I was in Suriname. I've never been to Suriname, but it was super interesting flying around and just experiencing it as it is right now in Suriname. It was awesome.
Yeah, we've been showing off some new cities that you've been showing in the game, and obviously these are all, like the topography of the map, that's drawn in from Bing, right? That's the mapping system.
Yeah. So we have basically three data sources with satellite, and satellite goes, there's awesome satellites everywhere, right? They go down to 30 centimeters a pixel. So that's pretty good resolution. And then we have something we call aerials that goes down to 5 centimeters. And then on top of that, we have photogrammetry, where we basically, out of a 3D point cloud, build the cities. And we have over 400 of those cities from Bing, and they look as real as it gets, right? Really.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty awesome.
Let's say sort of like the footage that we're being able to show at the moment shows these incredible cities. You know, we've got rivers, we've got buildings that actually they don't look like. I can remember, when I was a kid playing sort of the older flight simulators, when cities would be kind of very
8 buildings.
Yeah. a chunk of polygons. Now we've got places that when you're flying over Southampton, I know, is one of the cities. Obviously, me being British, I know Southampton. It's a place that you visit, go to seaside and stuff like that. So people are actually going to be able to fly over their own homes, presumably.
Oh, absolutely. Every house on the planet. So the fascinating thing is, we have these cities from Bing, right? 400, and Bing keeps making new ones, which is great. And we just, whenever a new one is, it just comes into the sim. So it's constantly evolving. But then on top of that, we have the rest of the planet, and it's kind of unknown what is a city, but we think there's about 2 million things that are called a city.
Okay.
And so we had this challenge, like we have amazing looking photogrammetry cities, but we need all the other ones. So what we're doing is we're running machine learning algorithms up on Azure.
Right.
And we're doing analysis of the photogrammetry, of the satellite images that we have. And then we build all the buildings in the world, like literally every single one of them. We think it's about 1.5 billion. And we know where they are, and we have a guy who's has a PhD in rooftop reconstruction. That's literally what he does. And so we built the right rooftop, we built the right building at the right height. And so even the cities where we don't have awesome 3D data yet, they still have all the buildings right, and all the trees and all those things. It's awesome.
So if anybody's kind of watching this and going, oh wow, this is incredibly overwhelming, sort of have you got kind of accessibility things? Are there things that are maybe a little bit more video gamey rather than simulated to this?
We have, so we're not trying to make it, we're not trying to dumb it down. Mm-hmm. This is a sim for simmers, first and foremost. So this is a real established hobby. They're very serious about their hobby, and we're listening to them a lot, and we're trying to give them exactly the sim they want. That said, accessibility is a big deal. Not just for people who might not be, a sophisticated flyer yet. So we have tutorials, kind of almost like gamey, but it's also how flight learning would work in a way. So you actually get taught, here's your fuel mix, and here's what you need to do with the throttle, and you learn all that stuff. If you want to, you can go as slow as you want to really get used to the subject matter, and I think that's cool. But then Microsoft, we have this gaming for everyone. We take that super seriously. It's also fascinating. We work with groups that there's blind people that can fly, and people with other with other particulars that we have to take care of. So we're working with all that to make sure that we have this notion of leave no pilot behind, because if you have the dream to fly, you should be able to fly in this.
Absolutely. It sounds a fascinating project, and I'm really excited to get, I'd say hands-on, maybe throttle on is the better...
Paddle on, yoke on.
But that's everything from Flight Simulator here for the moment at X019, but keep tuned to IGN for even more.
We've got 10 pieces of trivia about Metal Gear Solid, Star Wars,
Apex Legends,
Crash Bandicoot,
Nintendo. But there's a catch. One of them is completely made up, false, fake.
Bull.
Can you figure out which one it is before the end of the video?
Hey there! Do you have opinions on games, movies, TV, or other weird stuff on the internet? You can take part in our new show, Power Ranking, where you can vote on all your favorite things on the internet. Go to IGN's YouTube community tab to join this discussion. Do it now! Do it! Just go! Vote! Go vote!
Welcome back to X019. Now, it wouldn't be an Xbox showcase without a bunch of green lights and Phil Spencer. And so, welcome
in what
to
order?
the stream.
The green lights first.
Well, you walk in, see the green lights
and
first.
the fans and the community, and then...
Of course, and then there's Phil.
And overhead. That's me, Xbox overhead.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on the stream. Thank you for joining us.
IGN's having me on.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Absolutely. At your own show. It's like we've invaded. I'd love to kick off with a sort of big picture question. It feels to me like Xbox, this generation, as it's moved through, has moved from hardware-first ideas to games-first ideas. And it feels like today is sort of the ultimate expression of that. We've got so many new games being announced today and so many new first-party titles being announced. Would you agree with that philosophy of how you're approaching Xbox these days?
Yeah, I've been in this role a little over 5 years, and when we started, we had real hardware innovations that we wanted to put into market. We did that with Xbox One X. You see the Elite Series 2 controller. So I feel really good about how we've done on hardware. And obviously there's future stuff to come. We thought about service a lot. We built Game Pass. We've made evolutions to Xbox Live. And I definitely heard the feedback on our first party. You need to build a stronger first party. I want more diversity in the kind of games, new storytellers. So I feel great about getting to come here to XO in London, which is awesome, and get to show so much work from our studios. And as you said, including 3 new games. But I really think about all 3 of those things. It's not moving from one to the other. All 3 have to be hard at work on all of those, and we need to do great work.
Are you considering this sort of your games show for now? And then I would be remiss if I didn't ask if there is a Scarlet version of this kind of show coming at some point down the line?
I think we'll actually talk about a couple more games before the end of this year. We have some things that we want to do. But yeah, we go into next year. We've said Scarlet, we'll talk about it next year. We'll have great game things to talk about there as well. But I think one of the nice things about this shift in terms of going from Xbox One X to Project Scarlet is you can play the games that you're playing today. You'll be able to play those tomorrow and on future hardware. It's one of the commitments we made to our customers this generation. As we came out with X, it was the same games that you were playing on One, just looking better. We want to do that, but I also know people want to be excited about new stories, new characters on the new platform, and that's something we're focused on as well.
Well, I'd love to talk about those new stories and those new developers as well. You know, we're getting our sort of first flush of these new Microsoft-owned developers, these first-party studios, the Xbox Game Studios.
Yeah.
And what's the sort of overall philosophy for those guys? What's the goal right now? You've got this like burgeoning empire of studios that you're building all over the world. I'd love to know, what are you aiming for? Is it just that you want to be able to provide first-party exclusives on a regular basis, or is there a wider kind of idea of what you're aiming to create with those partners?
I would start kind of simply with what you said at the beginning. I want to make sure we have a steady lineup, a great portfolio from great studios, creators telling new stories with new characters and worlds in their own way. And as a platform, our job is to give those creators the best platform to tell those stories. And some of that is hardware capability, but it's also diversity of business models. So if somebody wants to do something that's slightly more episodic or more single player or more service-based, like whatever our studios want to go do, focus more on maybe a PC first title, more on a console first title, we want to enable that creativity across our full slate of first-party studios. And it's awesome when you can see, at the show, something going from Flight Sim to Minecraft Dungeons to new stories you tell, Grounded. I mean, I love the fact that we have such a breadth of studios doing such diverse work.
Well, I'd love to talk about Grounded a little bit, because I think when you guys bought Obsidian, I think there was a certain idea of what Obsidian do. They make single-player RPGs, they make big, wide narrative experiences with a lot of room for player experimentation. And Grounded is not exactly what people would expect, but as we've learned, this is a small team within Obsidian working on this stuff, sort of experimenting with an idea that they had pre the acquisition. So are you guys aiming for this allowance of a bit more, like spreading wings, a bit more security for these studios that you've bought who can maybe try new things and try out stuff?
I mean, that's, to me, having a diversity of creativity inside of a portfolio and a company like Microsoft and Xbox that can provide that stability while people are going to go take risks is something that one of the values we can bring to studios. You know, and on the point, we don't think there's an equation for the right game. We don't think every game has to be multiplayer, every game has to be single player. We don't think it's all about first person or third person or isometric or mouse and keyboard or controller. We think it's just about diversity of creativity, and we'll find the fun with the work that the different teams are doing. So we're not overly prescriptive on what the studios need to go build. Obviously, in the case of Grounded and the Outer Worlds, which I think we're both playing, we saw both of those games prior to the acquisition. So we got really excited about the portfolio to come, a little bit like Bleeding Edge, obviously, with Ninja Theory. So we're sitting down with those teams. We see not only the things they've announced, but the roadmap forward. And we love to foster their creativity. And whether they want to put the whole studio on one game or a small group of people want to go and try something new, I just love the opportunity to get to work with so many studios to do that.
Nice. And outside of your own Xbox game studios, we've also got Tell Me Why from Don't Nod, which is a really interesting case. And like a really, amidst the history of Microsoft published stuff, like you wouldn't necessarily place it in there until now. And I know this fits into your sort of gaming for everyone initiative, which I think a lot of people have seen as a hardware-focused thing or an inclusion on a social level thing, but you've now got software that fits into that side of things. I'd love to talk about how you got to bringing Tell Me Why into the fold.
I love the way you told that. You know, you say, we've shown hardware innovation with things like the adaptive controller. We've done work on Xbox Live and Mixer around our community and our focus with clubs and things, and then going to our first party. Don't Nod, first I'll start, it's just been a studio I've been a fan of for a long time. And every time I sit down with Phil Rogers at Square and talk to him about Life is Strange, it was like, hey, this is one of those franchises I really love. If we can show it on our stage, like I'd love to go do that and just make sure it's something that we're supported. It's been great, the support we've had. And then we had the opportunity with Matt and the team to do something directly with Don't Nod, something that's new, and as you said, kind of wants to tell, I think, a very thoughtful and sound story, but a story that regretfully hasn't been told enough through different types of characters in gaming. We were all in. Like it was something that the developer wanted to do, the studio wanted to build this game, and Tell Me Why is something we're incredibly excited about, and frankly something we've had a lot of feedback from communities, so we're doing a thoughtful job along with Don't Nod on telling a story in the right way.
That's really cool. And in terms of not just new games, but you've got older games coming, the huge slate announced for Game Pass today.
Yeah. Over 50.
Yeah, and Final Fantasy, Yakuza, you made a point in your opening address today about how there's a real focus on Japanese games in there, which is, again, not something that's been as much a part of the Xbox experience for a little while. That's kind of picking up again. Like, is this a philosophical choice on your part? Are you trying to embrace that side of the industry a bit more and bring Japanese gaming back into...
Yeah, I don't know if I'm smart enough to have it be philosophical. I listen to what our fans and our customers want. People tell me I don't like that there are games from Japan that don't ship on Xbox. So I think I've now sat in every seat on the Delta flight from Seattle to Tokyo, and I've spent a lot of time with the publishers there. And to get to come here to the show and talk about Yakuza, talk about the full Final Fantasy lineup, talk about those games coming to Game Pass, bring those stories. I have more work to do. There's no doubt about it. But I will say, first and foremost, that philosophy comes from listening to what our customers are telling me and our teams about what they want on our platform and areas that we need to do better.
Nice. And in terms of Game Pass, with regard to your Xbox Game Studios stuff, obviously right now we're seeing every single one of those launch on Game Pass. Is that something that will continue
Absolutely.
For the foreseeable future?
We're committed to that. Yeah. We're committed to our studios building games for our platform, and those studios and those franchises shipping day and date in Game Pass. and showing up so that all those players, the millions and millions of people in Game Pass, can play those games. We think about that really as the full Xbox experience. Like when somebody asks me about certain franchises, is this going there or is that going there? I think about Game Pass, Xbox Live, and our first party, and frankly the hardware that we build as the full Xbox experience. And we'll do things like xCloud and stuff that let you extend that Xbox experience to other devices, but it is really about our creative capability, giving services like Game Pass great content and giving our platform and our store and our players great content to buy if that's what they choose, and enabling that content to go anywhere and people can stay with their community.
Nice. And Game Pass right now is a cross-generational thing. It reaches back into the past of games from other, previous platform generations. Is that something that's going to continue on the next generation?
Absolutely. Yeah. People who are Game Pass subscribers today are already Game Pass subscribers for Project Scarlet. Mm-hmm. And I love that. In fact, we've even done things like the Xbox All Access program, which is here in the UK, which is allowing people to actually acquire a console today, but also they're kind of already in to get Project Scarlet when it launches, and that Game Pass subscription bridges both. So you're going to get to continue with your games on Project Scarlet, your save games, your community, everything will be right there. We did a talk, it was a few years ago now, about kind of cross-generational hardware and hardware upgrades, and it was something that the PC space hadn't seen as much as Windows had. Yeah. And on Windows, if you buy a new graphics card for your PC, you don't think about losing access to games to go play, and that wasn't an easy thing for the hardware engineering team to go tackle, but it was something that we were dedicated to. I think when I first started talking to that, I was confusing people, but I love the fact now that we can talk about games as games, and not that as you move to a better piece of hardware, something that's more performant, that all of a sudden you've lost the ability to play the games and the things that you love. I want to bring that forward, and that's something we're definitely committed to. And the same thing with your accessories. I get a lot of questions about the Elite Series 2 controller, and is that a controller that's going to work on Project Scarlet? And absolutely. The controllers are going to continue to work. It's not to say we won't do things with the next controller, but it is something I want your experience to be continuous.
That's awesome to hear. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have, but thank you so much for joining us, and it's been an amazing show. We're about to wrap it up, but we'll be right back after this.
Hey there! Do you have opinions on games, movies, TV, or other weird stuff on the internet? You can take part in our new show, Power Ranking, where you can vote on all your favorite things on the internet. Go to IGN's YouTube community tab to join this discussion. Do it now! Do it! Just go! Vote! Go vote!
Introducing the all-new Up-It News!
Don't touch it. What's wrong with you? Get corn snack. Game sucks. Bring it back.
Up at noon, weekends on IGN and YouTube.
And there you have it. That's been X019 from us, at least. It continues on for a couple more days.
It does. It does.
It's been a lovely time, Joe.
It has.
Thank you. Now, really quickly, where would you like to see X020?
Oh, I mean...
And don't say Tokyo, because I'm going to say that. Hi, answer.
I was going to say, well, head answer is, I'm going to say Seattle, because Scarlet. Just do it at home base. Like, what if that's the big day?
If they do that, then I'll wear Scarlet. We have to wear Scarlet the whole time.
100%. And I like that you're implying that I would have to come, because why would they fly me out? Well, I'll do it. Why not? Let's do it.
Because we're the tag team. That's part of the deal. If they want me, Joe gotta come.
Let's do it.
Here, if you're watching.
You know.
Okay, well, thank you guys all so much for tuning in. That is it from us. Keep it locked at IGN. Oh, we're waving.
Yeah, why not?
Cheerio.